Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another one. We are yet back with another one. Hope you guys enjoyed the other videos. The videos I've been posting recently. But you already know, we're gonna keep these videos coming. We do have a lot of good clips to get into. So do not skip anything. And if you are new, we like to take a look at strange, weird, creepy TikToks. If you are interested in that, subscribe. Why not? Subscribe, hit the post notification bell, post every day. Alright? And that's it, man. If you enjoy that, go on and subscribe, join the family. But with all that being said, let's go on and get into it, man.
Doesn't exist in Greenland.
That's crazy. No way. What am I looking at?
What the? You okay? What the hell? What the fuck is going on here? There ain't nobody there. Miss? Hello?
So it's just us here, and Henry's at work, and I've been hearing my kitchen chairs out there. And I'm freaking ready?
It's that orange peeling. Why you look like that?
What the fuck is that? Ah, get away! Get away! What the fuck is it? No! No, no, no!
Ugh.
Is it dead?
What is that, bro?
I think it's fucking dead. Okay. Just Ma! Ma! Ah! The fucking thing's moving! Ah! What the fuck is that thing? What the hell? What is that, Mom?
Yo,
Ma, you see this? Holy shit!
that's crazy.
What the hell is that? What is happening?
Strange. Not gonna lie, strange. This is the good part. Yes, sir.
Pay attention to when the wheel hits the ground. A passenger filmed this when they were flying on a Dash 8 airplane, which gives you a unique view of the landing.
So you guys know about the mud floods and how the government hides our history by putting cities on top of cities. Well, these kids went into an underground bunker in Chicago. Check this out, y'all. Look what they found. Yeah, it gets pretty interesting. Never seen such a Range Rover before. Look at all these old things down there, y'all. Is that? Look at this, y'all. This is interesting. This is like the second video I've come across where they have things underground, but we already know they got bunkers, y'all, so this is not uncommon.
Yeah, this is nothing.
It looks like a whole dormitorium. Wow. But why do they have lights in there, y'all? Could it be really abandoned if they have lights? What the hell? But yeah, they have working lights and everything. Ain't no way that's abandoned. And who's paying for this? I want to know who's paying for the electricity. It looks like someone's there. Everything will be revealed to us in due time, y'all. Just hold on a little longer. We got this shift here. We're taking it. You already know what to do, y'all. Keep up with your boy. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shit.
He's showing off.
You'll never be able to finish this video. It's so scary. It's about a person who, from his window, filmed a creepy creature climbing the walls of his building. What would you do if you were in his shoes? What is this creature? A skinwalker, maybe? I don't know. And here's someone who apparently managed to film the real Slender Man in the USA. The Slender Man is an urban legend born on the internet, described as a thin, faceless creature dressed in a dark suit. He is often associated with paranormal phenomena and mysterious disappearances, but sometimes people say that they've already seen the Slender Man with their own eyes. These people, for example, were in their car at night. And look what they saw out the window. A humanoid being that purely corresponds the description of the Slender Man. You'll never be able to finish this video, it's so scary. It's about a person who, from his window, filmed a creepy creature.
Alright, let's go and finish this up. I just got out my nap. Okay. Let's go and finish. Oh, I can't hear. I can't hear. Oh, alright, we should be good now.
You do if you were in his shoes. What is this creature? A skinwalker, maybe? I don't know.
Whoa.
And here's someone who apparently managed to film the real Slender Man in the USA. The Slender Man is an urban legend born on the internet, described as a thin, faceless creature dressed in a dark suit. He is often associated with paranormal phenomena and mysterious disappearances, but sometimes people say that they've already seen the Slender Man with their own eyes. These people, for example, were in their car at night. And look what they saw out the window. A humanoid being that purely corresponds the description of the Slender Man. You'll never be able to finish this video, it's so scary. It's about a person who, from his window,
why is it not playing? Hold on. Alright, Real Kia just uploaded a video. I want to see what she's talking about in here real quick. Alright, y'all. We're gonna throw this clip in there, and then we got more clips coming from TikTok. So y'all getting some good clips for today. I want to see what she's talking about, man. So let's go on and play it.
The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Cat Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we're talking about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy, right, where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves rape. And rape is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting raped in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting raped. So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story?
Okay, y'all, so I just watched this whole Cat Williams Club Shay Shay thing Unleashed, and I took a whole bunch of notes. I got my points where I want to show y'all and all types of stuff. It's already people online talking about he's a industry plant also as well, and this is all a part of a facade. We just gonna get into it because I'm gonna let y'all know what I'm going through in my head concerning
I
this.
figured that like he's still with them people too. You know what I'm saying? Because how is you that deep in, that close to where you able to expose them like that? You know? Because they're not finna let you in unless you did something too. You know? So that's interesting. I'm glad she does this. Like, she decode. Like, that's why you gotta question everything, because you never know. You never know, man. Let's go on and see what she say.
This situation. You know, this is all just for entertainment, for educational purposes. This video is not real. You know.
What the hell are you talking about? I am a boy.
The fact that Cat Williams wrote this situation out, like
Smart.
literally,
Smart
like
dude,
this
man.
whole, he twisted it and tried to make sure that it wasn't about him being, you know, violated. And then at the end of the movie, he's still running. He's still, if he stops running, then it's gonna be all bad for him. The fact that that is genius. That is a real genius script to do. And the funny part is that he's still running at the end of the movie. Like, that is genius. That is literally genius. I just wanted to add that part in because I didn't know that the industry was trying to do that once again inside of another predominantly melanated movie. Now, I'm going to read y'all a post about somebody who was exposing Cat Williams for this interview. I don't know if y'all heard him before, but his name is B-Dale. Okay, y'all, so this is his page. He actually also has a very, very successful YouTube channel. You know, he goes more deeper into the esoteric knowledge. What I read on his post was, let me show you. At first, when I looked at the picture, I'm like, okay, why is there a Masonic sign or a compass, as you can see, Freemasonry sign, right next to Cat William? And I'm just like, okay, let me read through it. You going through it, you see a man on a goat with the blinding thing on, and they're like comparing Cat Williams' chain to that symbol. So then you got this picture of this goat and this man like acting the fool in this ceremony, and it says Masonic, right? So I'm like, what is going on? And that's his chain that we saw in the video. The unseen hand. Symbolism will be their downfall. You have to have a supreme spiritual eye to decipher the illusion. What these oligarch elites do is mix the medicine with the candy. Industry plant call out others who are industry plants to hide the unseen hand. What you see in the picture are Freemasonic symbols and sigils of a traveling man, aka Master Mason, who has the ability to ride the goat. Not an actual goat, but an esoteric codex that means to go out and triangulate, meaning to cause mischief and be a distraction to the masses. Not a coincidence that this is all going on simultaneously at the time of the trafficking list came out on multimedia.
Right.
Read The Black Messiah Act by J. Edgar Hoover. They'll never let a real truther on their platform in front of millions, only if they serve as a distraction. Read The Unseen Hand and you'll see that everything I'm saying makes total sense. Pay attention to his choice of words. He's speaking in code, York Rite language. Did Cat Williams state facts? Of course he did, but he is compromised, being used as a weapon of distraction. Yes, indeed, spirituality isn't about crystals, head wraps, and all other. It's about having the mental fortitude to not be tricked. Okay, now, after reading that, I'm like, okay, let me use my discernment, because just because he says that, that doesn't mean I have to, like, you know, oh yeah, fully believe into it, you know, just full on. I watched the whole interview myself and tried to look at it from just an open eye and reading and just being open to everything. Is he an industry plant? Is he actually trying to expose stuff? What is the 2 and 2? So as I'm watching the interview, I started to notice certain things and certain wordings and stuff that he was saying. Now, I'm not making this video to convince you either or. I want you to use your own discernment and whatever makes sense to you. Let's get on to the points that I'm talking about.
It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with, and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources, and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Wow.
Because Shannon Sharp got to be a different person than that other person.
Absolutely.
And he always was. That doesn't change when I change teams. That remains the same. That doesn't change when I change teams. That remains the same. That's how a legacy is built.
So
all of these shortcut takers, they canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, there's 3 other black guys on there. Woo! Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get there.
I told him no. What y'all do?
Okay, so I put that part in because the way he was playing the sides and taking back whatever he needs to take back to awaken or help the people, right? This whole time, that's what he's been doing. And I feel like they know. The people who are running all of this stuff, they know what he's been doing for years. And they know exactly how to use him. Think about it like this. If anybody who's ever tried to change this world for a better, and the people who actually got assassinated and, took off of this earth, or even just put into fear, or just made them sick, blah, 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 blah. That was the dangerous people for them. What you need to know is that Cat Williams is telling you everything you need to know about the position that he's playing. Really listen on these next 2 things. Well, the next things that I'm about to show y'all, and read in between the lines with his wording.
When I'm talking about this joke about this black lady, I know that black lady. That's who I'm talking to. I'm speaking to this fan base that I've been speaking to from the beginning. I already told them what I was on when I first came in. I told them they was gonna come after me. They was gonna cancel me. They was gonna say terrible things about me and try to mess my life up. I said that coming in to stand up. I'm saying it in my.
So you knew it was gonna be.
It has to be. I know I'm going into the belly of the beast. How could I be naive? I know that I'm going into Satan's playground, but I'm trying to be so good that you got to bring me in so close that I can see who's doing what and what's going on in there.
See, that's interesting. That could be, he could be tricking us through that, you know what I'm saying? But he might just be really like real and just exposing everything. And if he is, you know what I'm saying, why? Right? Is they telling him to say this? Or he just, tired of it, he tired of the BS, and he just exposing everything, because if you that good, of course they gonna want you to be up there and stuff, like he's a funny dude, of course. The funnier you are, the more people is gonna watch eventually, what I'm trying to say, like, people is gonna watch because he's funny, so of course they're gonna want his talent.
In San Francisco, you joined the nation.
I was never in San Francisco. I was in Oakland.
You was in Oakland. Did you join
The Nation of Islam. Now, if y'all know, listen, me personally, I'm gonna say this. I don't think that y'all should demonize everything. It's like an alien race. It's like how aliens would look at us. Would you want an alien to see all the bad stuff that's happening on this planet that this race has been doing and blame the entire Earth community for what one person did or what, a group of people are doing? No. So when it comes down to anything, Freemasonry, Christianity, Nation of Islam, all of those things, it always had to do with the people, the corrupted people. You feel me? So just because our community, the people who are going through all of these awakenings and everybody who's exposed and stuff like that, and because you have to pay attention because some people are plants. They know, they've studied astrology. They know when the awakening is going to happen. You don't think they're prepared for it? Did you not see in the Avatar movie how they were literally doing stuff on different planets, mining, building stuff, highly advanced robots? You don't think that the military has multi-dimensional guns? You don't think that they have that? You don't think they know how to make themselves invisible? You don't think that they know how to shoot a dart or something or anything? Everything that they're showing you now is stuff that they have already done. They already done it. So imagine what the stuff that they're doing now. Because what you're seeing, the movies that they've made, they've already recorded that in the past. That movie was made 4 years ago, 3 years ago. It's just now coming out. It's a method to the madness. So what he's saying, I need you to not look at it just because things are demonized in our community because so-and-so said this. Use your own discernment. Did you did you actually go to the Nation of Islam? Did you actually go to a church? Some of these churches are actually helping people. Some of these churches aren't. When I first watched it, my mindset, because he said the nation, the Nation of Islam, I automatically closed it off. I didn't open my mind up to what he was saying. Now, is it fishy for me? Because I know that most of the Nation of Islam is bought. Yeah, it's fish. That's what I'm getting. But I'm gonna let you listen.
join the nation? Is that?
Yeah, Honorable Minister Farrakhan and I have an extremely close relationship. He refers to me as one of his sons. So, I spent a particular period of time Let me explain.
Yes.
Because my particular background was already religious and super strict, right? I didn't find out about other religions by reading about them. I went to their religion. I don't want to learn from Jewish people from outside. I want to be in a synagogue. I don't want to learn about Muslim people from, I want to be in a mosque. I don't want to hear about the Baptist or the Pentecostal. I want to go to their church and see. And so that was the religious discovery that I was on through that period in my life.
When did you know you were funny?
So he was a part of the Nation of Islam. And y'all know what happened between Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam, right? He didn't say anything bad about the Nation of Islam. So he doesn't have no ill, what I'm picking up is that he doesn't have no ill feelings from it, because he's still saying that Farrakhan is like looking at him like that's his son. And we know about Farrakhan. And if you don't, I'm gonna give you a little education.
Malcolm out before the world? Was Malcolm your traitor or was he ours? And if we dealt with him like a nation deals with a traitor, what the hell business is it of yours?
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
In the future, we're gonna become a nation. And the nation gotta be able to deal with traitors and cutthroats and turncoats.
So question real quick. Do y'all think that Malcolm was a traitor? Anybody who's been they actually had to go and take somebody out of their vessel because they're too powerful. Malcolm was a traitor. You see, and it's like Farrakhan has said a lot of things that move melanated people, and they know exactly what to say. That's what plants do. Why would Malcolm be a traitor? A traitor to the Nation of Islam? Because he obviously knew there was something going on with the Nation of Islam, and Farrakhan still stands with it. So what does that tell you? So he basically admitted to it. And in the movie, what did they show? Members of the Nation of Islam taking him out. Okay.
I love Elijah Muhammad enough that if you attack him, I'll kill you. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
And frankly, it ain't none of your business. What have you got to say about it? Did you teach Malcolm? Did you make Malcolm? Did you clean up Malcolm? Did you put Malcolm out before the world? Was Malcolm your traitor or was he out?
And this is a little clip of Malcolm X outing the Nation of Islam. Not outing, but basically just explaining the loop that everybody in.
The only thing that I regret in all of this is that two black troops have frightened.
I've been talking this whole time and wasn't even recording. Basically, what Malcolm is saying is that because they're putting in background music that I don't want to be copyrighted. So I'm basically explaining what he's saying. He's saying that the leader of the Nation of Islam could literally snap his fingers and create unity in our community. And Malcolm was going to get it done. He was going to get it done. And he was trying to. But it hasn't been done. And as you can see, throughout all this time of the growth of the Nation of Islam, what has been done for the melanated community? As far as helping, as far as nothing has changed. And it's even worse now because other races are feeling what we've been feeling for years, centuries. Well, we've been feeling for years on top of years since we got out of the 3D bondage, right? So you got to pay attention to any political party, any religion, any nation, any people, any group, any civilization. If they are working on strengthening their inside selves, if they're so locked in to hide certain secrets, if they're so concerned with making sure that everything is tight within them, and if anybody who speaks out of line, they get assassinated, they get demonized in the media. Do you really think though that people, the nation or political party or whatever organization that you see, do you think they have the best interest of this world? If it gets that bad, that's all I'm saying. So as far as Cat Williams saying that Farrakhan is like a father, or Farrakhan looks at him like he's his son, I'm not really messing with that. Me personally, I'm not messing with it, because this same nation was involved in the assassination with the NYPD against Malcolm X, involved with the government. So as you can see, he didn't really speak too much on it. Went to the next question. You have to read in between the lines. So what Cat Williams is doing, I respect it, but what he's a part of, I don't. And maybe for me, maybe he's trying to play his position. He knows what he's doing. Let him do what he's doing. Let him do exactly what his journey is. So as of this slideshow that I showed you before, right here, the chain that he has so bigly on his chest, the main attraction, the main thing of his outfit, and they're saying that it has ties to Freemasonry. Freemasonry. I'm done. I'm not at a point in my life. I'm done with media says in our community that's waking up is saying that every certain things are bad, blah 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 blah. You won't know unless you know for yourself. There's always complexities. There's literally always two sides to a coin with every single thing that is done. Your life is a prime example. I mean, you get into arguments with people. So with Freemasonry, you know, you got to realize that everything came from the source. And, you know, this shouldn't offend any of my fellow enlightened Caucasian people who are, you know, just seeing all the bull crap. You know, y'all already know. This is why you watching it. You peep it. We there, because we're connected through energy, not through skin tone. But everything that they learned about Freemasonry came from us, the Egyptians. Everything that they learned. Why do you think? And when y'all talk about religion, everything is the same. It's just mixed up story that other people say. It's all the same. And when you predate everything, it all leads back to melanated people. There were other beings walking around here, you know, the aliens, all types of different beings on this earth. But that was before the separation happened. That was before the mind wipe happened. So I'm not gonna be scared to search or look for something. I'm not gonna just be like, oh, because you're saying Freemasonry is bad, anybody who's associated with that is a bad person. We have people who play parts. It's people in the government who are as woke as I, who are as aware as I am. They're playing their part. So let people play their part. So let Cat Williams do what he's doing. Woo, child, I still got some more stuff.
That is true though. Because he can be finessing them, but really trying to help us out, you know? It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could be trying to infiltrate them by going through them and then finessing them. I guess that's how people get, you know, become whistleblowers or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, he might, I don't know, man. Some of the stuff he be saying do be facts though.
I'm just letting y'all know what's going on in my head as I was watching the video. Okay, let me go to the next one.
I mean, but you know, some of these people.
Martin tried to put me in my first dress. When he had to go on his hiatus, he tell me, Cat, when I come back, I need you. You my young partner. You my brother in comedy. When I come back, just promise me that my next movie, it'll be me and you. We're going to do it together. We're going to do some buddy cop shit. I said, Martin, you got my motherfucking word, my nigga. Go do what you got to do. When you come back, I'm in your movie. Don't trip. I don't need to see the script or nothing. You know, we get in that office and this fool pull out Big Mama's House 2. I almost died. And I gotta read this script from all these good white people. Where this nigga want me to get in a dress with him. And I'm literally saying to everybody, why is he in a dress again? You already played the old lady as an FBI agent. We can play anything now. We can be playing a dog catcher this time. Why do we need to be in a dress? And I get so mad, I say, you don't want me. You want Brandon T. Jackson. And that's who they went and got. Twice I said it, they went and got him. Just like I'm telling you, I had that other dude's work. I had all of it. All I did was say, I want to punch it up so it's not offensive to real niggas. And that's how I got in this position.
I sure hope I have Club Shay Shay after this air.
It's gonna be in a dimension it's never been.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
The greatest thing floating in 2024. Mark the words. No way. In a whole different realm of business. Oprah coming next. Once I establish this as a place of truth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Watch. God's people ain't that few.
Prince.
You see how he said, once I've established this as a place of truth, the people who are corrupted are gonna flood in. Well, that's what I'm taking away from what he said.
Maybe I'm a conspiracy theory, but I thought Cat Williams said any time they make you into that position, part of that contract is you do understand whenever we want to take you down, we can, right? Part of giving you.
I'm gonna need y'all to understand all types of stands. Stand everywhere with this, what he just said. What he just said applies to everyone, him as well.
Understand whenever to that position. Part of that contract is you do understand whenever we want to take you down, we can, right? Part of giving you the world. First of all, they went around the world for 2 years straight telling any women that would listen that this was a good-looking Negro. Anytime you see them telling you something you can't believe, just understand it's a play. And it don't matter. You gonna know it's a play as soon as they get in that position and think they's gonna tell somebody something. No, you're not. No, you're not. Marvel will cancel you you won't be allowed to read a comic book. What are you talking about?
Me personally, I really feel like Cat Williams has been waiting to be able to express himself and express the things that he's seen and the things that he's felt and all of the lies that he's been seeing in Hollywood, and they are allowing him to do that. You only get to do what they allow. Look at how many people have watched this video. 15 million people, and this video was published 2 days ago. It had 10 million yesterday. 10 million in a day. 10 million. And wow, you see how many of our people have flooded in? 15 million views in 2 days. They know the awakening is here, and they know the people who know about them. How do you think you get the answers? How do you think you get the truth? You seeing it for yourself, and who has to give you the truth? The people who are doing the lies. And who is in the who's ever making the lies, they know that this is going to happen. They know it. And around this time where this Epstein list is being put out, this was the perfect time to get everybody's attention to what has been hidden. Oh yeah, let me throw them a little bit of information. Let's throw them a little something to get them off our trail. You see, what I feel is Cat Williams is playing his position. He knows what's going on. He knows what they're doing. He knows that they're using him. That's why he's saying certain things, regardless if he's a Freemason or not. He's trying to tell you, and you need to make sure that doesn't go over your head.
I infiltrate the Illuminati and see what secrets they got in there. And then I grab some and I run back to y'all and bring them to y'all. And if they could. But I'm too fast. I'm just too fast, thank Jesus. So now, I'm gonna just give you a couple pieces of this motherfucking Illuminati information. If I throw a piece, he
literally just told you. He just told you. Now you see, they're only gonna let you do what they allow.
That's what they all end up saying at the end of the day. Kevin told you he wasn't gonna wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay. Alright. That's what I've learned more from comedy, is that Republicans laugh at the exact same thing that Democrats laugh at. As long as I'm talking to Democrats, I can make them laugh for 1 hour straight about what Republicans do. By the same token, I can go talk to Republicans for 1 whole hour and have them dying about the stuff that Democrats do. But at the end of the day, who does that? Yeah, your team got an offense and a defense. They're not supposed to be enemies. The enemy is the other side. Wow. You can't do politics like that. Nope. It's not good for the country.
Okay, y'all. So those are the parts that I wanted to show y'all, and I wanted to, just bring to the light of what brought me more on my insight. Using my discernment and what I've seen in his wordplay and how he's associating himself with certain things and disassociating with certain things, I feel like he's playing his position, and that's what I'm picking up on. As far as the Masonic symbol that is a part of his chain, right on his chest, right on his heart space, I personally feel like, what do you do? Okay, let me give you an example, right? What do you do when you are trying to, and what do you do? What does another country do when they see terrible things that go against humanity happening in other countries, and the government of that country is allowing that to happen? You send in spies, you send in agents, and what does a spy have to do? Play its part. It has to actually initiate itself in certain things to know truly and get down to the bottom of boiling everything down. So when you, if he is in the Freemason, how else would it be torn down? How else would spies be able to help other countries and help people who are having crimes against humanity? How else would it happen? You would have to play as you're a person who's trying to buy kids, who's trying to buy women. You have to play that role. And as you can see, certain people are very good at playing a position when it comes down to this planet and fixing it. So just sit back and let people do what they do. Cat Williams' life and whatever he's doing with his life and whatever he's doing to help assist this planet, or if he's not helping assist this planet and he's low-key playing on the fence, just like he's just, a plant for the awakening community. Regardless, use your own discernment. Don't believe what I'm saying just because I'm saying. If it resonates with you, if you see it, I'm just literally sharing my thoughts with y'all. Because if I share this with anybody else, you know, as far as family, friends, nobody's on this. That's why I created this channel. But I wholeheartedly feel like you just gotta play your position. And when it's time, it's time. And you will know when it's time. So everybody just sit back. Stop trying to glorify people. When you are on a mission, especially being on this planet, you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta play certain positions. And you gotta know exactly what you're doing. When it's time, it's time. When it's not, play your part. Because while all of this ain't happening for no reason, we're not sitting through all of this chaos and this terrible vibration for no reason. I want y'all to stop trying to, oh, if he's associated with this, and you know, just trying to glorify anybody who speaks out. Don't do that. Because it's literally like what you do. You putting people on a pedestal and like making people your leader. Oh, Cat Williams is gonna lead us into the mass awakening. No, you lead yourself. Follow your own mind and your own mythology. You lead yourself. So whatever anybody else is doing, if they're speaking out, if they're not, if they are, it's people who are not speaking out who are up in there. They not, but they playing a position. They know when it's time. So don't glorify this man. Read into the lines. Pay attention to what he's saying. Don't put this man on a pedestal. None of that. We gotta stop looking for leaders. Stop looking for leaders. You are your leader because you are in control of your reality. This is your world. This whole world was made up for you. Everybody just in their own little dimension, their own world. Literally, everybody. So make you the leader of your world. You the leader of your bloodline. You the leader of your family. Don't try to go outside of yourself to find somebody who's going to take you to where you need to go. But that's all I have to say for this video. I got a couple of other videos that I'm trying to record for y'all because I got, you know, some stuff going on. I'm ready to like roll out with the balls, you know, all of that. So I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching this video. I appreciate y'all. If you're here at the end, there will be more videos to come. I hope that y'all have a good rest of y'all day and stay dangerous.
Shout out to Real Kid, man. She really be speaking some facts, man, and making some valid points. I like it. I appreciate her. Yeah, man. You really gotta use your own discernment, man. But at the end of the day, he is giving out truth, right? But so what? Don't put him on a pedestal, like she said. Don't put him on a pedestal just because he's speaking truth. And now we like, oh, he's speaking truth, then he might be with us. No, man. You gotta hope yourself. You can't be looking for nobody, man. I hope you. It's good that he's playing his part though, because you know some people might not even know what's really going on in there, you know. So I do appreciate him doing that, but you can't just put him on a pedestal like that, right? I feel that. All right, let's go ahead and get into these TikToks. This is gonna turn into a video. I don't know. We're gonna see.
But you scared to show the world who you are. And when you doing that, you're hindering us in this war. We need every fucking soul and spirit down here to be who the fuck they are. I'm being who I am. I'm playing my role in the war. But you gotta be you. Because being you is going to complete us. Everybody looking on a savior. Everybody looking for a hero. See, all that bullshit come from religion. You have to understand the basis of religion and its purpose. Its purpose was to take the power out of your hand and put the responsibility in another motherfucking hand. It don't even exist. So, you never find out who you are. And when you do know who you are scared to show yourself to the world. But that's your soul contract. That's the reason you came. Before we got here, you promised us that you was gonna do that. You promised that. You signed that down on your etheric contract, on your soul contract. We was like, okay, you know what you gotta go do, right? You was like, yeah. All right, when you get down there, you already know that Earth is mission impossible. You know that Earth has been under light cold lockdown for the last energy cycle of what humans know to be 550 years. We told you this before you came down here. You been knew who you was, but you scared to show.
The darkest performances / concerts in 2023, part 2. Rihanna throws up the Illuminati sign in the middle of her Super Bowl performance, and then right after doing this extremely random finger sniff, Doja Cat bringing out a spider that hovers over the crowd as she performs her song Demons, Taylor Swift performing Witchcraft in the middle of her concert, the first ever concert at the Sphere where they were flashing dark subliminal messages to the audience, Ja Rule getting crucified during during his concert, Lil Uzi Vert having his audience participate in a ritual. This character on the screen was telling the crowd to repeat Lil Uzi Vert 6 times, and if you say it long enough, it starts to sound like Lucifer. Rima performs one of the darkest concerts ever seen in the UK, a controversial Lana Del Rey concert where people thought they were hit by a wave of energy. Many say it was a domino effect of people falling, but no one knows till this day what actually happened. Many fans at Travis Scott's Utopia concert thought they got flashbanged by a very bright light. Miguel shocking the audience by hanging from the skin of his own back by putting hooks through his skin. Beyonce with a visual of the legs, and in the middle of the legs was a portal. At another one of her concerts, the audience was shown this rotating visual, and then shortly after were flashed with mind control. The darkest performances.
The level of like stuff they would go just to make it look demonic, bro. Like, look at Rihanna, man. Bro, really? Nah, that's crazy. That's too far. That's way too far. I hope that's glue on his back. That was crazy. That was crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Somebody got some explaining to do. You see this? This the new Aquaman movie. It literally just came out a few days ago, and they done put the entire truth about aliens, reptilians, and Atlanteans in this movie right in our faces, and even Antarctica ice wall. And if you stay tuned, I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about.
This was all probably solid ice until we started heating the planet.
But thank God for global warming, right?
Yeah, that's not exactly a good thing.
Look at all that ice. Damn, what? Inside the Antarctica wall, I was in that movie theater yelling. If this ain't the truth.
Shoot up.
Wait, the trash leads down there, which means the monster's down there.
And what's the monster? That's what they was talking about in that movie. It's like they're showing us all of this shit before 2024. It's like they want you to know exactly what's been happening, but without having to tell you and cause a mass panic. But in that movie, you seen the scientists were down there in the ice wall in Antarctica digging up artifacts for the villain, and let me show you the villain that I'm talking about. This man right here, he came across this pitchfork that was some type of psychic connection to this demon lord that was frozen in the underworld who was connected to the lost kingdom. This is the Aquaman, and I'm gonna also show you who he represents, but this is who that black dude represented. And you see how they try to play a role, switch the color role type shit when they show us this shit in the movie? Yeah, other way around. But anyways, this is the reptilian king that was linked to that pitchfork that was controlling the black man, telling him to do everything to try to kill the Atlantean king, which was trying to keep him in his place to keep the balance in the powers in the world. He wanted to cause one world mass destruction order, and he wanted to turn everybody using his black magic into monsters and versions of him. If that ain't at its finest, these type of people, you know, I don't know what it is. I'm just saying, I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot, don't shoot. They thought we didn't know? You already knowing. Somebody got some explaining to do. You see this? This the new Aqua.
While we preparing about lists about celebrities, these folks building 5 million square acres underground and expanding. Check out this trucker exposing how they continually expanding, and they land is available, lots are available to buy underground.
Hey, I'm delivering here. Into these caves. Look what the sign says. 5 million square feet available.
That's crazy.
Is that dreaming? 5 million square feet under here?
Under here?
Hey, I'm in the cave, man.
That's crazy.
I'm actually delivering pizza crust.
Wow.
I'm actually delivering pizza crust, but it's only 15,000 pounds. Light as hell. I'm about 40 miles from the house.
We know the solar flare is hitting this planet. Actually, it was a solar flare that hit on the 1st of this fake New Year. They said as the world welcomed in the new year, the new matrix year, the sun unleashed one of the strongest flares of the current solar cycle as an X5 class solar flare on a New Year's Eve, which is said to graze Earth on Tuesday. A close encounter with the resulting coronal Coronal mass ejection CMEs from the flare is likely today, which is expected to slam our planet's magnetic field. Now, when these effects are taking place, bro, this is why it's so many people questioning what's going on in today's reality. This is why there's so many anomalies on the planet, because everything that's organic, everything that's natural is shifting. Everything that's unnatural, everybody that's unnatural, everything that's unnatural is running, because there's a lot of hybrid things going on, and hybrid just don't stop with animals. You got Neuralink is almost a hybrid of your regular consciousness mixed with some technology. Like, y'all gotta really break down these terms and words and take it far. When you hear GMO, don't just think about food, think about a GMO world. But there's one thing about radiation: the sun don't gotta be out. So if the sun hitting you, it don't matter or not. This is leaking into the atmosphere, and there's nothing you can do about it. Radiation, you can't see through. Gas can seep through corners and cuts and crevices. Because when you talk about radiation, that's on a gas level, gas realm. But just like how a gas can turn into a solid can turn into gas. So when you think about water and you boil it on the stove, if you got water in there, it's gonna start cold and it's gonna be hot and then it's gonna vaporize. Yeah. It can go that. So radiation pouring through the planet, and as above, so below, as within, so without. If a gas can ascend up, it can descend as well. I know y'all like, what you talking about? Look, if you're not understanding what I'm saying, just click off the video. But me personally, I feel if there's CMEs and radiation being poured through the planet, it can affect our physical. It's not even I believe. This is science. But you know, science is a system too. But science, we need to go off of that because it deals with the study of life rather than your emotions. Just like Earth's magnetic field being pulled down, so more frequencies can get this veil on this matrix is being pulled down. We out. While we prepare about
the Kundalini energy that is in us is a feminine energy. And this has a lot to say, because that means in actuality, if the Kundalini energy is a feminine energy, that means that the people who have full access to the Kundalini power, their males are nothing but renditions of women. They're male women. So, in a particular aspect here is because the force that's in us is a feminine energy. And this is only a hologram, then that means in actuality that that particular force inside of us is just nothing but an extension of the divine feminine. You see, which is interesting here when we say that black male, and especially black man in America, are not only, you have racism, but you also have sexism. He's one of the few males that is discriminated based on his sexuality too. When it comes to the European man feeling inferior based on that shit, based on the sexuality thing. But there's a spiritual aspect about that also too, and that is that the force within him is a feminine force. The Kundalini is a feminine energy. The Kundalini energy that is in us.
This is what the Met Gala is really about. Watch this.
That was Elon Musk promoting the New World Order at Met Gala. What is Met Gala exactly? And is it linked to the Rothschilds? So Met Gala is an annual celebrity gathering where they show their crazy fashion costumes and head on inside for a dinner behind closed doors which we can't see. It kinda reminds me of the 1972 Rothschilds ball, in which they wore eerie costumes and attended what looked like some ritualistic dinner in their eyes wide shut party. People gotta start questioning why regular people don't do this weird stuff but famous people do. Here we have Donald Glover or Childish Gambino at Met Gala flashing the all-seeing eye pyramid on his back, then putting in a cult hand gesture up, and then Elon Musk showing Novus Ordo Seclorum on his back, which translates to New Order of Ages or a New World Order. They keep showing this imagery they are in support of. And subliminals like Alicia Keys wearing the World Trade Center on the middle of her back to Met Gala. And on that very morning the World Trade Center was struck by lightning. And on that same night Hillary Clinton was at Met Gala for the first time since 2001, and we all know what happened to the World Trade Center that year. It was struck down. It all just seems like the Hunger Games 2, in which they just released a trailer for their new film and they have some interesting imagery law. They love subliminals. But back to Elon Musk, the one who wants to chip our actual brains. I'm not sure why people think he's on our side. He's clearly controlled up like Trump and those guys. I mean, look at his mother. showing the same symbolism as all these other celebs we expose. There's no exceptions. He's an industry plant and sellout who clearly just showed you he's a part of the agenda. So watch out for more weird ritualistic area cultic outfits and subliminal messages at Met Gala on May 1st.
A long list of people connected to Jeffrey Epstein is set to be released today, like probably right now. And people really want to see with controversy and speculation already running rampant online. So this list includes around 150 people who are named in court documents in a lawsuit filed by one of Epstein's victims several years ago. In the lawsuit, the documents name tons of people as alleged, have seen associates, co-conspirators, and even victims, but the actual names have always been kept secret, replaced instead with pseudonyms, like John Doe 21 or Jane Doe 10, just because the judge in the case decided that the privacy of the individuals named in the lawsuit outweighed the public benefit in knowing those names. The backlash against the people named in the lawsuit would be worse than the good done by releasing the name. This is basically just a privacy balancing, and it's common in a lot of trials. However, the Miami Herald newspaper didn't like this and really wanted to see those names. So they sued to have the names unsealed, arguing that there was a huge public interest in knowing these names that outweighed those individuals' right to privacy. And last month, the federal judge disagreed with that first judge and instead agreed with the Miami Herald and ordered the release of the name, which starts today and will continue.
No one questioning why Mark Zuckerberg.
What is The Simpsons trying to tell us now?
Power outage coming soon. Wow.
What is the sim?
It's crazy, bro. Bro was about to kill. You know what I was about to say. He's about to do that. He was really about to take himself, delete himself. That's crazy, man. Dang, that's really crazy. Because what would we really do without music, man? A lot of people would be part of deleting themselves. That's crazy.
Hey! Modesto, California.
The Grand Awakening.
Involving surviving children continue to pour in from across the country. Panic calls to 911 describe cars moving on their own accord. If you notice any bizarre behavior with your children or the children of those around you, please report immediately to the CDC.
Superpowers.
If you know, you know.
You survived the sickness, but you're not the same, and until you are, there's no going home. All kids are given a color assignment that corresponds to their disorder. On the bottom here are greens, basic enhanced intelligence. Blues have telekinetic abilities. Golds can electricity.
Me and you.
Up here, past this line, are the most dangerous. Reds and oranges, but they are very rare. I'm sure you have nothing to worry about. Are you very good at math and puzzles?
Yeah.
Because that means you're most likely in green territory. And that's not so terrible.
Gamma territory. You know that green represents the gamma, right?
Okay, we can fix this. Get back here.
TikTok, this is fake and scripted TikTok. It's for entertainment purposes only.
Yup, what do we know?
Educational purposes only.
I'm green.
She green, gamma.
I'm one of the smart ones.
She smart.
Yes.
Star C.
That's why we got green veins, man.
Who we?
You know what I'm saying? So we got green veins.
Y'all better leave a comment on this one.
Check this shit out, bro.
Oh, the movie is called
The Grand Awakening.
Involving surviving children.
The movie is called excuse me, The Darkest Minds. That's what it's called.
Check this shit out, bro. I'm about to red pill you. This thing's so awesome.
We're all bored now. But has it ever occurred to you, Wally, that the process that creates this boredom that we see in the world now may very well be a self-perpetuating, unconscious form of brainwashing created by a world totalitarian government based on money? And that all of this is much more dangerous than one thinks? And it's not just a question of individual survival, Wally, but that somebody who's bored is asleep, and somebody who's asleep will not say no? See, I keep meeting these people. I mean, just a few days ago, I met this man whom I greatly admire. He's a Swedish physicist, Gustav Bjornstrand, and he told me that he no longer watches television, he doesn't read newspapers, and he doesn't read magazines.
I wonder why.
He's completely cut them out of his life because he really does feel that we're living in some kind of Orwellian nightmare now, and that everything that you hear now contributes to turning you into a robot.
Bro, and that was 1981. Imagine today, bro. Imagine the control that these guys have, bro.
When I was at Findhorn, I met this extraordinary English tree expert who had devoted his life to saving trees. Just got back from Washington, lobbying to save the redwoods. He's 84 years old. He always travels with a backpack because he never knows where he's going to be tomorrow. When I met him at Findhorn, he said to me, "Where are you from?" And I said, "New York." He said, "Ah, New York, yes, that's a very interesting place. Do you know a lot of New Yorkers who keep talking about the fact that they want to leave but never do?" And I said,
They're fucking
yes.
slaves, bro.
He said, "Why do you think they don't leave?" I gave him different banal theories. He said,
when you travel overseas, bro, you actually realize this shit's crazy. People are forced mentally. They don't even understand to be put in these situations. It's fucking crazy.
Banal theories. He said, "Oh, I don't think it's that way at all." He said, "I think that New York is the new model for the new concentration camp, where the camp has been built by the inmates themselves, and the inmates are the guards, and they have this pride in this thing they've built. They've built their own prison, and so they exist in a state of schizophrenia, where they are both guards and prisoners, and as a result, they no longer have, having been lobotomized, the capacity to leave the prison they've made or to even see it as a prison."
The moment you tell somebody any sort of truth, right, that goes against their world fucking view, they mentally can't take it. They cannot handle the potential that they are living a life of slavery and that they've been lied to. They cannot comprehend that. It goes beyond their fucking little small peewee brains.
And then he went into his pocket and he took out a seed for a tree and he said, "This is a pine tree." He put it in my hand and he said, "Escape before it's too late." See, actually for 2 or 3 years now, Chiquita and I have had this very unpleasant feeling that we really should get out. And we really should feel like Jews in Germany in the late 30s. Get out of here. Of course, the problem is where to go, because it seems quite obvious that the whole world is going in the same direction.
It's facts, bro. The entire world's getting absolutely eaten up, bro. It's getting chowed up 24/7 by all the bullshit. In a month, they shut down the entire world. They told you 2 weeks to curb the spread or whatever it was. And now it's been 2.5 fucking years. A ton of lies, a ton of bullshit, a ton of money spent, destroyed economy, destroyed small businesses, destroyed entrepreneurship careers, destroyed relationships, a ton of depression, a ton of overweight people, a ton of bad habits formed, idle minds, men dumb as fuck as they've ever been, weak as fuck as they've ever been, TikTok exploding, all these bullshit ass high dopamine apps, right, are taking off. And what do people have to show for it? They're still fucking broke, they're still poor, stimulus check worked for nothing, and now they're sitting there with empty hands, even though we have 20% inflation rate. It's absolutely insane. And all of this is due to one thing, the lack of knowledge and the lack of information. Most people do not have it, and anytime you mention it, they'll scoff at you and laugh at you, not understanding that the only ones that are truly free are the ones that are educated and understand how the world actually works. So that's up to you. It's up to fucking you to do that.
Excuse me. I just wanted to say you have the most unique energy in the entire store. I see you shining. Oh, bring it in. Bring it. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, of course, of course. You look amazing. Hair looks great. You're just killing them. What is this? What is? I'll happily try one. Mexican. Very Mexican? What's your name?
Andrea.
Andrea, I'm Tristan. Nice to meet you, Andrea.
Where are you from?
I'm from California, but I live in Tulum now.
I live in Tulum too.
Really?
Mexico.
What part of Mexico?
Puebla.
Puebla? Oh, I have friends from Puebla. Yeah. Very cool.
Meet you around?
Yeah. Andrea?
Tristan?
Yeah.
Tristan. Okay.
Nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine. Bye, Andrea. Excuse me.
I
just wanted to say you have the most unique energy.
But the Illuminati and the Freemasons, the number 33 is so prevalent in all of their symbolism and just their beliefs and shit. number 33 is the highest level in Freemasonry too. Now, this is what's crazy. So there's these explorers, right? I think it was Admiral Byrd that found like Agartha, the different continent past Antarctica. So this is the theory that Antarctica isn't actually the size we think it is, and it actually borders all around the Earth, and there's different continents outside of it. So we have a huge ice wall, right? The mission that they did in Antarctica was titled Project High Jump.
Okay.
Why is it high jump?
High jump? I don't know.
Because they're going over a wall that's high.
Okay.
Now listen, it's crazy. It's crazy.
What happened?
So the reason they love the number 33 is because supposedly there's 33 different continents outside of the ice wall that's enclosed in Earth.
No way.
33 different continents.
33.
And that's where you get the conspiracy of like, oh, that's where the aliens are. So it's, what if aliens aren't actually from different planets, but they're actually from different continents?
Out the border. That's why.
But the Illuminati and the Freemasons.
So it's pretty obvious that disclosure has already started. We're in the middle of it right now. The interesting thing is what happens next. So you're going to start hearing these two words discussed a lot by insiders and people at the top. That is controlled disclosure versus catastrophic disclosure. And this is interesting. So controlled disclosure is basically meaning the people that are behind all this, that have the most information, can control it in a slow drip way to where they can just incrementally introduce the human population to all of these things that they figured out. A, we're not alone in the cosmos. B, everything we know about our history, our origins, our Genesis story, everything like that's probably false. And here's the new alternative version. You know, all these things are going to have to be slow drip because it causes what's called ontological shock, where you basically go into shock and freak out because everything you thought you knew is a lie or is wrong. Right. And you have to wrap your head around the, you know, changing of your religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, you know, all of your beliefs, you know. So that's a big deal. And if your mind isn't right, you're not ready for that spiritually and psychologically, it can have a lot of bad ramifications, okay? Now, that leads us to what they call catastrophic disclosure. Catastrophic disclosure is if they're not able to slow drip this. Like say they, when I say they, you know who I mean, the people at the top that are behind all this, they want to take 10 to 20 years to slow drip all this stuff out. Hey, here's a picture of a weird looking civilization type thing on Mars. Oh, hey, look, here's a picture of a UFO. Oh, hey, maybe here's some biologics from a body, you know, and just slow drip it, you know, and get everyone acclimated and give people time to wrap their mind around it before they give them the next piece of the puzzle. That's slow drip disclosure. That's controlled disclosure. You know, slow drip, monitor. If people start freaking out, pull back, wait a little while, slow drip some more. Now, what happens if something happens and there's a collective just, oh shit moment, and instead of them taking 10, 20 years to release this all, it happens like that, okay? And all of a sudden, everyone on Earth, it's crystal clear, we're not alone, and all that stuff I just talked about, the questioning of your religious beliefs, your spiritual beliefs, Genesis story, who are we, where are we, when are we, you know, what is a human, what's out there, who created us, what's going on, all those things flood into the human psyche at one time. Now, that can cause all sorts of psychological issues. I don't think I need to explain that. You know, if you're not mentally stable, all of that flood at one time, and then watching everything crumble around you, like watching, you know, religious wars break out and riots and people stop going to work and all the things that happen. And on top of all that destruction and chaos in the world, you have to wrap your head around that we could be the byproduct of an extraterrestrial race or some sort of a alien human hybrid or chimpanzee hybrid, or who knows what they're going to tell us and what's the real story. I have my theories, but you know, having to wrap your head around all that, like, instantly, you know, and not having someone to go to for support because everybody's going to be scrambling and falling apart at the same time. Now, that is part one of what causes catastrophic disclosure. Part two is the phenomenon's effects on people's psyche, okay? So there's something called, like, the hitchhiker effect, and there's also something called acquired savant syndrome. These are two things that happen to people that are in close proximity to the phenomenon. So there are two opposites. And this is what makes me think that maybe it's also just a reflection of your internal self. Because acquired savant syndrome basically means you are in contact with the phenomenon in some way, some sort of close encounter, and all of a sudden you have you know, these enhanced abilities, these psi abilities. You're telepathic, you have premonitions, you know, can see auras, you can speak different languages and play instruments and stuff like that you've never, you know, you can do advanced mathematics and physics, right? This is amazing. You're basically like a fucking X-Men, right? You have, you know, enhanced spiritual and psychic abilities just instantly, right? While that's hard to come to grips with and to manage, because sometimes it's overwhelming, it's a whole lot at once, that would be seen as a positive. We're enhancing the human, you know, machine. Now on the flip side of that, when we have these hitchhiker effects, it's usually negative. You know, we've seen this with, you know, Skinwalker Ranch. They wrote a book called Skinwalkers of the Pentagon, where literally people in the intelligence agencies were going.
Wait a minute, are skinwalkers really real? Like I've seen, and I'm new to this. I'm new to the skinwalking stuff. I don't know if that's really real. Is that real? Y'all let me know, man.
Coming back home and bringing paranormal effects with them. That was spreading like a virus. They were giving it to their kids, and the kids would go to school and transmit it to neighbors and friends at school and that kind of stuff. People were seeing werewolves. People were having all sorts of poltergeist and paranormal things happening in their houses. And it was terrifying. It was terrifying. So this is the flip side of the coin. So we see how with, you know, close proximity to the phenomenon, you can have either these amazing, beautiful, magical effects, these enhancements to the human, you know, spirit, or you can have these detrimental effects, like almost like a disease or a virus, causing basically like manifestations of internal fears and things like that. So you can see how moving forward, it's less about, oh, there's aliens out there and we're not alone in the cosmos. I think we're way past that. I think everyone knows that. It's more about, this is consciousness related. Like this has to do as much with the human psyche and as much with consciousness in general as it does with the cosmos is huge and, you know, law of averages. If you look at how many stars there are and planets around stars, and there's bound to be other civilizations. Yes, that's a given. We know that. But it's much deeper than that. That's what they're realizing with the phenomenon is only a small part of the phenomenon is actually like nuts and bolts, flying saucers, and aliens. Most of it is these spiritual things, these paranormal things, these time things that don't really make any sense to us. There's so much behind the scenes. There's so much about this that's metaphysical, way beyond parts that are physical. And the fear with catastrophic disclosure is that all of this is going to happen at once. And instead of like it happening to small groups of people where we can kind of go and study them, you know, they've labeled it Havana syndrome. We now think Havana syndrome is actually part of this phenomenon. You know, we can study those people, we can isolate those people, we can medicate those people and help those people. But what if this happens to billions at once? That's the risk we take with a catastrophic disclosure. That's a risk we take if there's actually this. People say, why don't they just come land on the lawn and shake our hands and say hi? It's too much for the average human brain, the average human psyche to handle the flood of not only emotions and, you know, changing thoughts, but the physiological and psychological effects that happens at the same time can cause people to literally go crazy. And if that happens to 1 or 2 people, we can manage it. If it happens to 100, 200 people, we can manage it. If it happens to 1 million, we're in trouble. If it happens to 1 billion, no one knows what will happen. So when you see people talking about disclosure and people are rushing them and saying, hurry up, you know, tell us what you know and all these things, maybe there's parts of this that we haven't really understood firmly enough, and that they know that there could be these very unwanted effects that could literally crumble society as we know it. Because I think we're way more fragile psychologically, mentally, and even spiritually and emotionally than most people realize. I think most people are hanging on by a thread. And if you just all of a sudden create this ontological shock, and on top of it, give them psychic abilities they've never had before, and on top of it, give them the ability to manifest their deepest, darkest fears, you know, and on top of it, everything is crumbling around them, so there's no support groups, and there's nobody to come and rescue them and help them and stuff, and you do that to billions of people at once, that literally is the fear that we have right now with this catastrophic disclosure, that some sort of a mass showing, a mass event, a mass encounter could literally create this catastrophic series of this domino effect of events that would happen that we don't know how to manage. And it's possible that this is what happens to the great civilizations over time. They get to a point technologically and spiritually and consciously where the phenomenon wants to come and show itself and interact, and possibly it's too much and they crumble. You know, there's nothing else that explains the fall of every great civilization on Earth that's usually linked with some sort of an encounter type thing. And there's lots of information that points to interaction between the phenomenon and the greatest civilizations on Earth, and then also...
Yeah, I just have to skip this. He was losing me afterwards.
You know where the bitch is at? Huh? You know where the bitch is?
Do I know what?
Where the bitch is at?
Where the bitches are at? They're everywhere.
Ah, I know that shit. You know where the bitch is at?
They're everywhere. That's funny. Whoa, now this real. See, videos like this be tripping me out. Like, how? Is that real or is that just a costume? These are supposed to be like the real men in black. Like, what? It might be fake because the way they walking and their heads look, I don't know.
Check this out, y'all. You know what this is? You already know. Look at all the stuff happening in Florida, y'all. Florida is it. Look at this. This is Florida. Fort Walton Beach. I zoomed in, y'all. Let's see if we see anything. Look at that one. That looks like a portal. Oh, wow. Yo. What an amazing time to be alive. Florida got all the bangers. This video was solely for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times, y'all. You see Florida talking about it. Florida's going through the shift. Everywhere on the planet is going through the shift. But Florida seems like a hotspot right now. See, that's why I told you they told black people to move away from Florida. Y'all remember that, right? They told black people to move away from Florida because they know what's about to happen. Florida is the key to Atlantis, baby. Egypt. Let's get this shift, y'all. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in.
If y'all been wondering why there's been so much negativity on the algorithm and in the comment sections since 2020 at a high expansion, especially now when you see these comments, majority of people arguing. This beautiful melanated sister just broke it down.
Oh, y'all.
Check it out.
Okay. One thing I found out going viral, and this is a secret and it's not out yet, but that's why y'all glad y'all got me. When we on the internet, when we on social media and we see a negative comment or we see negative comments, when we respond, we think we responded to a person. It's not a person. It's a bot.
That's why it's so consistent.
This AI has been collecting data and it knows that somebody is more likely to get captured and stay on the social engine if it is negativity. So we thinking we got all these haters and all these people that think so bad about us. No, it's a robot.
Nobody knows you, bro. Nobody's thinking about you.
It's a robot that's trying to keep you on social media and get you to engage. It's all about you. And then on top of that, not only is it trying to engage you, but it's trying to get other people that come to the post. And it's trying to, like, sheep mentality. Like, look at all these people saying bad stuff. Don't you want to say bad stuff?
Don't you want to comment too? Everyone else says something.
It's trying to get you having the same perspective as a fucking robot. It's trying to take your essence, your organicness away from you.
That makes sense.
So
I'm not gonna lie.
don't get on and see a whole bunch of comments and think that's what everybody thinking. It's a bot. And don't be arguing with these bots.
The only job these apps have is to keep you on there. Every single social media, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Kik, Yahoo, they're all in competition with each other. And you got to think about this too. Everybody is competing with these streaming services. You still have cable TV around. They're trying to outdo Netflix. YouTube trying to outdo Netflix.
People don't be used to
This is why you could talk about it. They don't care about what you talk about. Keep you here on the app. What keeps you here on the app? Drama, excitement, trauma, police shootings, Like, y'all think it's just be an attack for certain people. No, it's an attack on everybody.
That's real.
And you notice the amount of comments that naturally goes to arguing nowadays. It didn't used to be like that. On the early internet days, the Vine days, the 2016 Vine comments look way different than what TikTok comments look like. And it's a reason for that. Because they can study the algorithm. They know if they get a bot to say a certain thing, they already know the reaction. And how do I know this? Because I pay attention to my comments and I see y'all say the same thing. It might be a different topic, but it's the same argument. The whole time, videos are only supposed to be for perspective. Now, everybody can get their opinion, especially if you're putting yourself in the public eye. But you got to understand something. It's another divide and conquer tactic. They know we're not falling for none of this BS. We're not even biting on nothing they put on the news. They got to get us drained. They got to get our energy zapped in some type of way. Even though we're not falling for the news no more, we still falling for the petty arguments. You got people still... You know what? Just bringing this video for y'all awareness, man. Power.
This is why you should not be eating KFC. Now, before the founder of KFC passed away, this is what he allegedly told a reporter.
He once told a reporter that the gravy tasted like wallpaper paste, and the new recipe for crispy chicken was nothing but a fried dough ball stuck on some chicken.
Don't even touch this shit no more. Let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about KFC gravy?
If that wasn't bad enough, the mac and cheese and chicken are also saved for the next day. In the video, employees are shown freezing the unsold green beans to resell the next day.
So I guess you're just eating leftovers. Hey, fuck that, bro. Stay home and cook.
Birds are crammed into cages.
Yeah, stay
They're
home
fed
and cook,
drugs
man.
to
Oddities,
grow
huh?
large. The birds are unable to walk and often break their wings.
Eating a jugged up chicken is insane. And if this is true, then what kind of drugs are they feeding the chicken? That's important information if you eating it. And why he back there looking like a villain while she eating the chicken? Nah, bruh, something ain't right. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
KFC is the restaurant most likely to get your order wrong.
Let me know in the comment section if you're still eating KFC. And hit follow.
And I'd like to begin with Fort Jefferson, which is located in the Florida Keys, making this...
Isn't it crazy how, like, people get up out of their sleep, they get up and they decide to go to KFC or like a restaurant or like anywhere, you know? Strange. Like, is these real people? Are they even real? Like, who gets up and like, you know what? I want some KFC today. You know what I'm saying? Like, who just gets up and like, you know what? I want some KFC. They cannot be real people, man. There's no way. There's no way they just...
One of the strangest structures in the world, in my opinion. Supposedly, they had slaves trying to build it for 30 years. Of course, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you will understand the narrative often uses these slaves or prisoners as their master builders, because we all know they have an artistic, steady hand. So 16 million bricks later, in 1876, they said, we're all done building it, and just left it unfinished, which is obviously the most logical thing to do, and just a brilliant idea. Even unfinished, it remains the largest masonry structure in the Western Hemisphere. Of course, this was found, and this story is completely fabricated, which is exactly why they had to turn this into a prison. Now that we have that story all laid out, let's begin to ask some basic, open-minded questions. Who decides that this is a good spot for the largest masonry structure in the Western Hemisphere, without any fresh drinking water, in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico? Literally. Is this logistically possible in this time period, to ship 16 million bricks onto this little piece of land? What is going on here? It's clear that the land was formed perfectly. Which company in the 1800s were in the business of land creation in the ocean? This is all the way at the end of the Keys as well. The story simply doesn't make any sense if you ask me. Just hire a bunch of slaves and prisoners. They'll get the job done. Don't even worry about it. They know exactly what they're doing. Now here's a map of all the star forts in the USA alone. Even the Statue of Liberty sits on top of one. I personally find it odd how these major cities just pop up all over the place. What makes a place so perfect that a major city develops, especially in the middle of the desert? Let's look at Las Vegas as an example, and go slightly northeast, and we will find the remains of what was once a star fort. Clearly, this star fort was hit by an extreme event, leaving just a pattern on the ground. Not only is there a star fort, but there is also some sort of monument right next to it. This was built in 1856, so we have a lie right off the bat. Let's continue. The story is absolutely ridiculous. It was the headquarters for a cavalry in the 1870s, and that was it? How exactly is it worn down like it was built 2,000 years ago? Was there a fire? No. Was there a war? No. Nothing? Really? Just naturally looks like this. The scriptwriter was surely cut off the payroll after this one. This was clearly hit by a direct energy weapon, in my opinion. It's completely destroyed and isn't even close to its original form from only 150 years ago. Let's compare this to something else built in the 1870s and show that this is a total lie. Or we could just show something built supposedly 400 years ago. Even better. This is St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. Looks good to me. No rust, nothing. Do you guys see any signs of weathering here? Let's go over this little island in the middle of the ocean and take a look at this very real and believable story. This star fort was built, but not up to their standards. So in 1672, Cornelius Spielmann ordered an engineer to redesign the fort into a magnificent castle. This project would turn into a lengthy, hard-fought build. It would take hundreds of years to... No, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. It took them 1 year. Finished in 1673, 1 year later. And of course there would be no other star forts in the area, which is understandable. It's the one part of the story that I'm able to actually wrap my head around. Wait, what? What is that? Another star fort's right next to it? Okay, I give up. Here we have a second star fort on this tiny island in the middle of the ocean. Making sense? Built by the Portuguese in 1529, of course. Its purpose was supposedly to control the trade in nutmeg. Their admiral was attacked and killed, of course, to give this Wikipedia page anything at all to write on. Otherwise, the page would have been basically blank, as they have no idea where this really came from or don't want us knowing the true story. Now, let's take a look at some cities that are in the form of a star fort, because this is normal and easy to design. Major cities into star formations hundreds of years ago. Simple. Let's go all the way to Palmanova, Italy together and take a look at what they have to say for themselves. Okay, right off the bat. This city was created in 1593, mapped out to perfection for an aerial masterpiece. What is the point of giving us the sky view, since the plane wasn't invented for hundreds of years later? Oh, they used the latest and greatest military innovations to develop this design for their city. The types of guns that were being used look like this during this time period. But when it comes to insane star forts, let's just chalk it up to military expertise and move on. Mr. Vincenzo Scamozzi is credited as the architect for this star fort. Scamozzi? Really? Scam. Ozzy. I'll tell you one thing that's scamming us. Is this BS story they're trying to get away with. In 1622, it was supposedly in perfect condition, and nobody wanted to live there. Is this a joke? Guess who they gave free housing to? Poor Venice was forced to pardon all their criminals and give all of them free housing in this star fort city. Just giving away star fort cities. Come on down. Anyone who has committed a crime, you are not only freed from jail instantly, but you are given a palace in one of the world's most perfect architectural places. Enjoy. Now, let's go all the way to Netherlands and see what they have going on over there. I'm sure it's nothing crazy, and all the stories check out. Oh, what is this? Another star fort city in a completely different country? Anyone have any questions? No?
Crazy.
Me either. I guess I have a few.
You ever hear the toothpaste theory?
Toothpaste?
Yeah. So you know how the toothpaste at the bottom of that there's always like a block of color.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's white, so it's white.
White, but on the thing there's like a little square.
Yeah.
Yo, check this
What
out.
is that? What is that?
Fam, you either get a black square, a red square, a blue square. What the fuck? Yo, so you see the toothpaste, right?
Yeah.
So you either get black, green, red,
black.
or blue. You know what those mean?
No, isn't it just like anti-cavity?
They're all the same type of toothpaste.
Oh shit.
But theory goes that the people that know the code stay away from certain colors of the toothpaste.
Whoa.
So it's like if you know, you know. The code is if you have the green on your toothpaste, it means it's all natural. If you have the blue, it says it has natural plus medicine.
Okay.
If it has red, it's natural with chemical. And if it has black, it's all chemical. You ever hear the toothpaste theory?
Toothpaste?
Yeah. So
No.
you know how
Okay, guys, so supposedly like on New Year's Day or the day after, and I'm not sure if it was New Year's Day or the day after, that they had a call, and the police shows up at the Bayside Marketplace in Miami at this mall, and people are saying, hey, there's 7 to 8 foot tall aliens. Absolutely, that's probably not. Let's watch this real quick, though.
Let's see. Whoa. Why they got all these cops out there now?
What did you hear?
Gunshots.
Oh, that's what that was?
Okay, guys, there's a rumor out that this was aliens, and there's a reason I didn't hear about it, and nobody sent me any footage saying, hey, have you seen the aliens at Miami at the Bayside Marketplace? Well, it didn't take me long to do the research on this, and let's just say you could probably Google it up yourself. But the police were called out because there were fireworks erupting. There was a riot that broke out. There was several teens that were charged with burglary and other things. I think a 14-year-old, a 16-year-old. They jumped on this one driver, and there was actually firearms being used, but nobody was harmed, I don't think. But that's why you see all the police footage and things like this. This has zero to do with aliens. Zero. There's no aliens. No aliens.
Hey guys, this water lentil protein powder by I Am Joy is amazing.
Hollywood's been programming us since we were born.
They have been desensitizing us since we were born. And I'll give you some examples. Let's start with the big one. Let's start with words we hear all the time and never even think about. Let's start with the word entertainment. To entertain. What does that mean? To bind or hold. To bind or hold what? An audience's attention. Okay, now let's take the word Hollywood. Where does that come from? Well, Hollywood comes from the holly tree. And the ancient druids, back in the day, used to take the holly tree, make wands to weave spells, cast spells, or channel spells. And when they needed help, they would consult the magi's or the mediums of the day to help channel their spells to the population. We'll cut to today. What do we have in our houses? We have these black boxes. What are they called? TVs. But if you stop and you say the word television, and when you turn on that television, what do you get? What's the first thing that pops up? A list of channels. And when you turn on those channels, what's on those channels? Programming. They are programming you. They've been programming your whole life. You don't even know it. They do it with your music. They do it with your TV. They do it with your movies. They do it with your games. They have been programming us and programming you since you were little, and you don't even know it because you don't even question it.
Hollywood's been programming us since we were born.
Then we're going to launch it into the atmosphere. Watch it vaporize. Here's the kicker. Every animal on Earth will be transformed into a mutant. Every fly, flea, tick, snake, fish, and whale. Everything. And we become the dominant species.
Hey, when the machine that turns a bunch of animals into mutants goes off underwater, and then there's animals in the water, like, what do you think that does? Oh, what?
Joining us, an army of mutants that appears to be led by 4 turtle men is attacking the city with a giant whale monster. Ah!
All raindrops have one job, is to work their way back home. To the river, to the stream, to the ocean. When we're born, we have one thing to do. God don't give a damn about a PhD like your daddy got, or a PhD like your mama got, or how much money you got in the bank, or if you're black, you white, you rich, you poor, you can read, you can't read. God has one law. When you come here, the only thing you have to do is work your way back home. I brought you through that little door called your mama's womb. But all you got to do is work your way. And I have one restriction. You better be as clean get back as you was when I put you here. You're not born a racist, or a bigot, or a thief, or a murderer. You pick that up on the way. It's just that simple. Now y'all play all the games you want, get hung up in all the churches you want, be full of hatred, let somebody reduce you below your dignity and don't know you violating the universal God. Let a bunch of thugs control your food, a bunch of hoodlums control your education, everything. They got engineered animals that you put on your table every day, and America's the only country don't have to put on the label that they've been cloned and you think you free. All raindrops have one job, is to work their way back home, to the river, to the...
These are the signs that will have the most luck in their...
Several people added me in this video about these creepy giant puppets, and now I understand why they was adding me. And the thing with me is, it's not a problem that it's a giant puppet, but why does it look so realistic?
Right.
Look at the eyeballs, the functioning of the eyeballs. They look like a real life blink. You see how he looking at what they're doing? With precision. I think that's the creepiest part about all of this. Look at the eyes. Like, just pay attention to the functionality of this puppet. Yeah, and it was more than just one puppet. It was a bunch of them. Once again, look at the eyes. The eyes is the creepiest part about all of this. Y'all, let me know what y'all think about these giant realistic puppets in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. Follow me on YouTube if y'all want that exclusive content. And hit that email if y'all trying to do business. Several people...
So have you heard of the theory how men are actually going extinct? Wait, men are no longer going to exist? Scientists are finding that our Y chromosomes in our DNA are actually shrinking. As we know, right, our bodies are made of DNA. Women have 2 X chromosomes when men have an X and a Y chromosome. And you can see that the Y chromosome is actually a lot smaller. What would even cause that to shrink? Apparently scientists are finding that the Y chromosome is actually degenerating rapidly, and they're finding that the Y chromosome is slowly getting smaller and smaller. And once it disappears, men are extinct. And this all could be linked to a couple males throughout our generation that had a couple bad genes, and it slowly just gets worse and worse throughout generations past them. But this whole male extinction thing probably won't happen for a very, very long time. But if things start getting crazy with genes and DNA, it could happen a lot sooner. Okay, this is crazy. Ever since 2020, it's just been all downhill. It's crazy because when you look at, women's chromosomes for DNA, the 2 X's are very bold. Like science and technology, they say that there's a possibility that they might be able to find an alternate chromosome like to replace the Y.
Men are just gonna be genetically modified?
I guess so. Okay, so have you heard of the theory how men are actually going extinct?
Sound frequencies has been used to heal the body for thousands of years. They have been using it to heal cancer, overall diseases, moods, and depression, and many more. One way the medical industry uses sound waves to heal the body is
matter in this universe into another dimension or another timeline, and they do it all of the time. He said 66 million years ago, something was headed for this planet that was 6 miles in diameter. We call it an asteroid. Was it an asteroid? Were they responsible for it? He said, because it is that 6 mile wide, what we have called a scientific analysis, that it must have been an asteroid piece, 6 miles in diameter, and it plunges into what we call the Gulf of Mexico, off the coast of the Yucatan, and makes the Chicxulub crater. That's our evidence. He said, we just can't understand. That took out 95% of surface life on Earth, including all of the dinosaurs.
This woman just exposed.
What's up, man? Y'all believe that we had dinosaurs? What do y'all think about that theory that we used to have dinosaurs? To be honest, I don't know. I feel that we was just more advanced back then. And I don't know about the dinosaur thing. I don't think dinosaurs ever existed. anything, it probably was just big giants that used to exist, you know? And it was probably us, right? I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
A number of things that I've heard from people in the Pentagon, that the buzzword in the secret of secrets in the Pentagon is the Sumerian gods are returning, and that's what they're referring to as that whole area that Peter's.
Wow! Can you repeat that again, just in case anybody missed it? The buzzword in
the Pentagon, in the military circles that are in the know about the cover-up here, they kind of in whispered tones talk about the return of the Sumerian gods. And they're talking about the what we would call aliens or fallen angels returning into the Middle East, into Old Sumer area.
the Anunnaki.
Well, could be.
Under the other ancient names. Do you think that has anything to do with why?
A number of things.
Bob, I'm tripping.
Whoa.
What the?
What the heck? Why is he just froze like that?
What the f? Yo, you good?
Nah, no way.
In the Matrix live, I'm moving closer to my front window where the sunlight would supposedly come in. But there's no sunlight coming in and hitting that light, right? So I'm holding my phone, I'm just gonna walk closer and closer. And as we walk closer, look at the reflection. Damn it, I had the phone plugged in. Look at the reflection. The lights are on. But the lights are not on.
In the Matrix. What the? What the? What the? It doesn't make sense. Bob, I'm
Nah, they gotta throw that into the TA.
Right, bro, when she looked up, she knew, like, oh, damn. Bro, I don't care. Cuz came over there being like a ghost. Dude. Would fly you, bro. I don't blame him. Probably be mad too, man. Dude, we're finna go to the Olympics this year, bro. And they in Paris. You know he ain't never been to Paris, man. Anybody who could just hurdle that bit like that, because that would be kind of up there. That boy cleared that. Even if he didn't go to the Olympics this year. The boy was guaranteed a spot on somebody's roster in the NFL. Look how he laid out. This man laid out completely in the air. You can't tell me some NFL team wasn't gonna sign that man. You hear me?
Breaking news! This terrifying situation is happening right now to our planet, and all life as we know it in 2024 will drastically change. Citizens of Africa were terrified after it was documented that the continent of Africa is splitting into two and has seemingly happened overnight. The terrifying long split starts from Kenya is 35 miles long and miles deep, causing not only a new continent but a brand new ocean to have formed with the effects of the split entirely. To change the entire ecosystem of our ocean and even completely change the climate of that area, with people not knowing if this would be livable for anyone there or if it would destroy the population there, as the rift already caused one man's home to literally be ripped in half. Scientists are extremely concerned over other continents being split too, as they think Africa's split is caused by the built-up pressure from rising magma, resulting in the explosive event. It's made to fear this would cause irreversible damage to the habitats in the ocean and other sphere, if this could change ocean travel. This is that squirrel from Ice Age's fault. Breaking news! This terrifying situation is happening right...
What if the whole, all the land above just decays? You know what I'm saying? What if it just decays? And go down to like another, like it's a whole nother world down there. You know, make you think when it's doing stuff like that. That's interesting. I don't know though.
Right now to our...
Okay, so that I stay safe and I can come back and I stay alive, I want to tell you something. I will give you a hint to what he showed me. It's going to happen. And you have to get rid of these metals in your body. And I know exactly how to do it very easily. If you want to do it fast and quick, it would be green drinks. There's something with chlorophyll that has to do with, it matches, it's very close to your blood in its structure. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so you have to have a carrier that will grab things and take them out of your body, okay? So if you want to know what's going to happen, and it could happen tomorrow, it could happen, but they're going to say it's something else. You're going to have to do your own thinking about this. I don't want to get in trouble. But just stick a piece of foil in a microwave and picture that in your body. Because you can't see a microwave, but you can see the results of it when it's present. And you know to not put foil in the microwave because you just do it once, and then you have a fireworks show that the neighbors talk about, because frequencies affect different things. And if something is coming that is intentional, if it hits something that stops it. Okay, so that...
And then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business. And it's a man unit. Then you ask him, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good Oba-Kaby and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. And then he gets this high top fade.
That one wasn't fun that day at all.
Glory be to God. Don't think you're going to comment on my channel.
I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. T.G. Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Gee.
Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. Do you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. In 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Like all of these dudes are co-entwined and they share secrets, and this is the age of truth. The Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island.
Age of truth.
Chris Tucker,
Lord.
not Smokey.
Oh, Lord.
Nah, he was on the road.
They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out,
everything.
but he offered to suck my in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? I get there, there's 3 other black guys on there. Woo. Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get
I told him no. What y'all do? They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. Ricky Smiley knows this, and I don't know why he would lose a child and come on the air and start lying. That's why people believe in rituals right there. Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Ted, I need to know. You here, get to.
If I look at it, I got it.
Yeah.
That's how Diddy be feeling.
Now, come on, man. Come.
In
I might be out of
2024, mark the
business.
words. No way. In a whole different realm of business. Oprah coming next.
What he building a $270 million bunker? What do you know that we don't know, Cat?
Kim Jong-un. He knows that 30% of all weapons systems are running off regular Wi-Fi. So what does that mean? That means if a solar flare or a meteor hits either one of those, literally a bomb can go off just because the system accidentally got turned off. Yeah, that's what he knows. Just like people that tell you the Egyptians, they're not black. Egypt is in Africa, folks. As long as Egypt is in Africa, then Egyptians are African. Kevin Hart purchased it, so he's now doing Comic View. That happened at the same time that they gave DC Young Fly Hollywood Squares. Where? Yeah, because they tell you that there's no gatekeepers, but we keep seeing the same people open the gate. Didn't Kevin open the gate and let Tiffany in? Ain't he now opening it up for... Don't such a... I came in this business saying I was going to expose.
Speaking his truth.
Why are all these rich people building bunkers underground? Should we be worried about something? The real question is, what do they know that we don't know? By the way, this man is not a human. You know that, right?
Nah.
I keep hearing stories about the world is going to come to an end. An asteroid is going to hit this planet. I want to say this planet can never come to an end, but the way we look at things will come to an end. The problem is we focus too much on these aliens, reptilians, that we forget that we are powerful also. We need to stop saying that they run this world, because they don't run the world. They actually stole the world. Please don't forget that there are two kinds of people in this world. There is children of the sun and there's children of the moon. This is really important. It's not no asteroid that's going to come and destroy this planet. The sun is actually getting closer to this planet. Or I should say, we are getting closer to the sun. Remember, children of the sun, children of the moon. These are moon people. They cannot be under the sun. That's why they're trying to build these bunkers underground, because they know the sun is about to activate. But they have us looking up out of space worrying about an asteroid. It don't work like that. We live in a closed system. Nothing can penetrate the dome. These solar flares activate us and actually get rid of them. They are like parasites on this planet, and the sun or these solar flares is like the detox. 2024 is the year of karma. Everything they did to this planet and did to us is about to be shown to the whole world. What's done in the dark will always come to the light, and there is no greater light than the sun. The sun is about to show everyone the true darkness of these people. And they trying to avoid their karma by running and hide underground. Let me tell you something. Reptilians always live underground. This is nothing new. No one can escape their karma. This planet is really starting to wake up. Have you noticed that there have been so many different earthquakes all around the world? These earthquakes is actually the planet going in labor. Just like when women go in labor, the goddess Earth can go in labor also. Remember, you can hide from the world, but you can't hide from yourself. Karma is about to expose Hollywood. How many of us actually notice that they are making these giant puppets? Have you seen this yet? Remember, they take from the living and they give to the unalive. These puppets are artificial intelligence. And this is the man that's creating these AI robots or these giant puppets. My ebook is in my bio. Why are all these rich people building bunkers?
The court dropped the Epstein documents, and these are the top names that were mentioned. Stephen Hawking, an email revealed that he participated in sexual acts with minors. David Copperfield had dinner at Epstein's house, and at the table there appeared to be underage women. Ehud Barak, former Israeli prime minister, flew to the island 30 times and performed in sexual acts. Bill Clinton flew to the island and was said to like them young, referring to girls. Prince Andrews flew to the island and did many sexual acts in different places, including the island. Michael Jackson, it was said that he visited the mansion in Miami but did not receive any massages. Alan Dershowitz involved in sexual acts and massages, but he said nothing sexual happened, just massages on his shoulder. Glenn Dubin, self-made billionaire, wife and 3 kids, receives massage. Bill Richardson, former governor and politician, receives massage. Donald Trump, no massage. The document is about 1,000 pages, so stay tuned as we unveil more names. The court dropped the Epstein documents, and these are the top.
Did you hear that there were supposedly these 8 to 10 foot aliens that were seen in the mall in Miami on January 1st? Obviously, this caused mass hysteria, but people are unsure of what actually happened. This is what the news reporters have to say. A lot of people aren't buying it.
There has been a lot of activity in the last hour. This all started, according to police, with some sort of fight between juvenile groups that were armed with sticks.
The police presence is what has people really confused because their claims that this was just kids with sticks that were fighting. But why would there be such a huge police reaction? There were a lot of police there. People also claimed that they lost power in a really huge area around this mall in Miami. Somebody on Twitter mentions that police scanners were blocked and also black helicopters were seen in the area. A lot of people think that this was just a cover-up for the Epstein list that's supposed to be released. The list is supposed to be released within the next few days. They've been talking about this release for so long. I personally will be surprised if we do see anything at all. I don't know if you remember a few months back in Peru when people were claiming to be attacked by aliens that fit the description in Miami and in Las Vegas. This girl caught a picture of one of the things that was seen attacking people in Peru. Looks like a human with a jetpack. The police in that area said that it was just local gang members messing with a small group of people that lived on like a mountain or something. This also fits the description of the Las Vegas aliens. I don't know, do you think it was actually kids with sticks or do you think they're covering something up? I think it was actually aliens. Did you hear that there were 8 to 10 foot aliens?
Maybe Kanye wasn't lying when he said it. Maybe he was telling.
The bombshell Jeffrey Epstein list has been revealed. Stephen Hawking, Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Vera Wang, Naomi Campbell, former Prime Minister of Norway Robert Kennedy Jr., Sergey Brin, the co-founder of Google, the former First Lady of the Virgin Islands, Ehud Barak, the former Prime Minister of Israel, Bill Gates, William Burns, who was the director of the CIA, Noam Chomsky, Joshua Cooper Ramo, who was a FedEx board member, Lawrence Summers, who was an ex-Treasury Secretary and the former president of Harvard, Peter Thiel, who was the co-founder of PayPal, and David Copperfield, are amongst the high-profile figures who have been named in the newly released U.S. court documents identifying associates of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, which were made public last night. The list of names is part of a settled lawsuit filed by Jeffrey Epstein victim Virginia Jeffrey against sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. The case was settled in 2017, but Jeffrey and many
This Balenciaga mannequin was a real person. There is a This Balenciaga mannequin was a real person. There is a theory that Balenciaga has been turning real-life models into mannequins to be used in their stores. Well, you see, there was this model for Balenciaga named Christopher G, who was well known in the industry and posed for many different Balenciaga campaigns. But one day he mysteriously vanished, with his family and friends not knowing where he went. Interestingly enough, just around the time he disappeared, a lifelike mannequin showed up at one of Balenciaga's flagship stores. And if you take a closer look at the mannequin, it looks exactly like Christopher G. With everything that's been going on behind the scenes with Balenciaga, is it possible that this Balenciaga mannequin was a real person?
This Simpsons episode is just too real.
It's true? Russia's doing terrible things? Vladimir, I'm sorry if I woke you. No, I don't care if I'm waking you. You tiny bald fascist! Leave this great country alone!
might take a moment to enjoy those store names if I didn't have a job to do. I'm sorry, I have so many nightmares. I've done unspeakable things, from Buenos Aires to the Ukraine.
It's best to concentrate on what you do have.
I have reoccurring flashbacks to a nightmare's past.
That's funny, because I have reoccurring flash forwards to a nightmare's future. Man, this really gets me.
My nightmares are real.
Shortly after the Antichrist becomes president,
a flaming mushroom spreads across the sky.
the champagne is terrible. It tastes like dryer sheets. But what does said mushroom signify? Nothing less than World War III.
Who'd fall for this malarkey?
Smithers, I'm scared. Anyone left alive will surely find themselves envying... Who could we possibly envy? The dead.
This Simpsons episode is just too...
I was at a university not long ago and talked to a group of black law students, and I asked them to identify the names of 5 African ethnic groups that were brought to the Americas. Since there were more than 100, I just said, name me 5. And these law students could not name one. I asked them to name me 5 European ethnic groups, and they could name 20. Question has to be, how is it that students who are considered the best and the brightest go through school, K through 12, 4 years of college, and come out and have never learned the name of one African ethnic group? In other words, they don't even know who they are.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
I was at a university not long ago and talked to a group of...
This right here is the very first step of creating your makeup, ladies. Check this out. Yeah, this is fish, y'all. Yeah, I guarantee you it smells so good. Oh my goodness. This is what you guys are putting in your face. Look at this. So I slow it down for you guys. Check this out. Yep, that is definitely fish. There you go, ladies. So not only is fish the very first ingredient used in creating your makeup, but platelet-rich plasma is the second ingredient, y'all. These companies take your plasma and they ship it to these high-end makeup companies every single day, y'all. This is really where your blood and plasma donation is really going, to keeping these vampires alive. Platelet-rich plasma, or PRP treatment, which involves injecting a small amount of a patient's own blood to release various growth factors from platelets, continues to increase in popularity. The American Society of Plastic Surgeons has tracked the procedure since 2015 and reports a 25% increase in cosmetic PRP use in the last 4 years. So you guys literally have been putting fish and plasma on your face. Treatment using PRP show great promise for harnessing the body's own natural tissue repair process to help our patients achieve improved form and function. The increase in popularity could in part trace back to celebrities extolling the procedure's cosmetic benefits. You guys remember when Sandra Bullock said this?
And it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the
What are you pushing into the skin, Sarah? Sandra?
Sarah?
Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
And then for the crowd to join in and laugh and cackle like that, how egregious. Sandra Bullock wasn't the only one that said this. Check this video out.
Right. I've had stem cells in the blood of a 2-year-old child injected into my skin, and my face still looks like this.
You need to be using fetus blood, Eddie. A little spritz of afterbirth, darling. Keep up, sweetie.
Y'all ladies heard that? Y'all need to keep up with the trend, and apparently you literally are, because hey, they putting fish and plasma in y'all makeup. I really want to know how many of you ladies really knew that, besides the ones that buy vegan makeup, because there is vegan makeup, y'all. So how many of you ladies really knew that? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Again, I'm just sharing information. I'm bringing awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times, y'all. Let me know what you think about this video. Like, comment, and share for more videos like this.
I'm about to give you a really dope perspective on manifestation and the law of attraction. Everything that you physically have right now was first a thought. I have this apartment because one day I thought I wanted to move out and live here. The dinner that you're gonna make tonight, you first think about what you want. Then you go get the food, you make it, and now you have your dinner in your physical reality. As a matter of fact, everything that exists in this physical world first existed in the mental. All the buildings in the world, all the clothes that are created, all the jewelry that is created, cars, lights, companies, everything was always first a thought generated by someone that then caused that thing to manifest in this physical reality. This is simply how manifestation works. These are all just basic examples of how your mind literally creates your reality. We've come to think that manifestation is this far out concept, but we're all literally doing it every single second of every single day. You just may not be conscious of the fact that you're doing it, but that is exactly what's happening. And this applies on all levels. The law of attraction never changes and it never stops. That car you want, that house you want, the success you want, the millions of dollars that you want, all you got to do is think that you're going to have it. And by law, you will. Because that's exactly how you've come to have everything that you have right now. Can't you see that? I'm about to give you a really dope perspective on manifestation and the law of attraction.
Intelligence that is controlling the physical body, the eye that sees into the dimensionless universe of thought and light. It is not the pineal gland. The pineal gland is the seat of the third eye. This invisible intelligence is known as the mind or God. This is why you see the ancients always depicting God in the brain. Matthew 18:9, it is better for you to enter life with one eye than to have two eyes and be cast into the fiery hell. Making thy eye single is balancing the two hemispheres of the brain so that you operate off your singular consciousness, of your mind. Israel, the children of Israel are the people who have balanced the two hemispheres of the brain and become El, which is singular consciousness, God. The letter O is the open eye, the letter C is the closed eye. Open begins with O, closed begins with C. You look with the two eyes and you see with the inner eye, the eye that is interpreting what you are seeing, the perception created by the mind. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. Comment down below if you want me to release the physical version. The Illuminati.
Are y'all seeing what I am seeing? This is literally the desert in Saudi Arabia. We are at the end of the freaking world. And if you say that we are not, then you are sleeping. Those poor camels. Isaiah said in 35:7, and the parched ground, the desert, the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. In the habitation of dragons where each lay, shall there be grass, reeds, and rushes. In the end days, those poor camels and poor people. My goodness. How could someone be so blind? Look at these poor camels. Exactly what the Bible said. The parched ground will become a pool of water. Wow. We are literally at the end, y'all. The deserts are literally becoming green. And again it says, where each lay shall be grass and reeds and rushes. And then behold, I'll do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness. We know in the trumpets it talks about Euphrates being dried. But not only that, rivers are drying everywhere. Isaiah 44 says, that saith the deep, be dry, I will dry up thy rivers. We have dried rivers all over the world, especially the Euphrates, and people are still asleep. Are y'all seeing what I am seeing? This is literally the desert in Saudi.
Yo, listen to this shit, PvP.
Welcome back to the night, Temenos Prime. Temenos Prime. You have disgraced it. Join your fellow rebels, fugitive scum. It's for the rarest of specimens, the worst of the worst. It's taken centuries, but I've collected all the nights.
Now listen up, listen, pay attention.
chessboard to clean. I'm slave to no one. All this species mixing with species. It upsets the cosmic balance. The creators, they don't like it. They built you to do what you were told.
Ooh, that still happens.
Did y'all just hear that shit? He was talking about the gene mixtures and all that shit, but I've been telling y'all about the fallen and inevitable. Oh my God!
Devastating news today as there was an active at an Iowa high school this morning, and they've injured multiple students, teachers, and taken their own life. At about 7:40 a.m. today, an active came into the school before the first bell. Luckily, that means there wasn't as many students in the hallway, and they went to the bathroom, got ready, and came out and started firing. This is allegedly the person who did it, Dylan Butler. This is them in the bathroom at the school with a bag. This was them on TikTok, and they have this flag in their bio, which people are saying means something. According to other students from that high school, Dylan was on Instagram Live during the incident and when he took his own life, and the video has since been taken down. His TikTok account has also been taken down, as well as the Instagram and Facebook, as well as that of his parents. Again, it is not 100% confirmed that this was him, but according to a lot of the students, which a lot of them saw him and saw glass and everything else in the hallways, they are thinking that this is him. Devastating news today as there was an active at an Iowa high school this morning, and they've injured multiple students, teachers, and taken their own life. At about 7:40 a.m. today, an active came into the school before the first bell. Luckily, that means there wasn't as many students in the hallway, and they went to the bathroom, got ready, and came out and started firing. This is allegedly the person who did it, Dylan Butler.
Don't start
this is
this,
them
man.
in the bathroom at the
Don't
school with a
start this.
bag. This
Slow
was them
this.
on TikTok, and they have this flag in their bio, which people are
Hold
saying
on.
means something. According to
So Cat Williams, he opens up 2024 with some words for the industry.
I came in this business saying I was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side.
Facts.
Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is.
And I find this crazy that Cat Williams did this interview dropping all this truth around the same time the Epstein list is dropping. Yeah, I'm talking about crazy names like Bill Clinton and Michael Jackson was on that list. We're in the age of Aquarius, the age of truth, the age of knowledge. So everything that was done in the dark, it is now coming to the light. That great deception is over with.
This is called Pan-Africans, you about to lose your job. Now, it have came apparently...
Alright, I just got done dinner, and I'm about to go...
The human body...
Alright, I just got done dinner, and I'm about to go live again.
The human body replaces 98...
Alright, I just got done dinner, and I'm about to go live again. But I want everybody, everyone in the world, to watch this. It's from one of my followers, it's a friend, Awakening Enthusiast, it's part of my community. I want you to keep in mind this whole clip, and please watch this whole clip. Keep in mind, this came out in 2018, 2 years pre-COVID. This is the X-Files. Now, many of y'all already heard this, but you heard it around 2020-21. Now with what's going on in 2024, stop. Watch this. I know this is going to get suppressed. You know why it's going to get suppressed? It's literally the CIA using psychological warfare on its citizens in your face. Just like the documents they said they released to us and did. And watch this predictive programming. But no, we're conspiracy theorists.
Wait, bro.
CIA
It's copyright, man.
Yeah, they did. Freedom of Information Act. Look it up. Dumbass. Enjoy. See you all in 5 minutes.
Put there without your knowing it.
Put there by whom?
Well, that's the question of the day.
This is an internet lunatic. You're not saying you believe him.
Hold on, Agent Einstein. You're talking.
So basically there's this trend that goes with that song you just heard, where basically you just play the music.
I think I like this little eye.
I'm sure by now many of you have heard that there was a huge police presence. I'm sure by now many of you have heard that there was a huge police presence down in Miami. Now the word is that there was a scuffle between kids, or there was this altercation between teenage kids or whatever in a mall. But I've never in my life have seen this much police presence and activity for a scuffle between kids in a mall. No. And the funny thing is, usually at this point, we would see videos of what went on. There was, I mean, Instagram, social media, everything. TikTok will be filled with videos of what happened in the mall. But we don't see anything. Funny thing is also that there are people that said that they saw 8 to 10 feet creatures in the mall. And that people were pop, 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 blasting away. Not at each other, no, at these creatures. But again, we don't have any footage of any of that. It's almost like all the footage is confiscated. And whether that's true or not, I don't know. We haven't seen any evidence of it. But I've never, ever, ever have seen this much police activity or presence for a scuffle or problem with kids in a mall. That's like every single cop. Every single police officer is out here. The year's just started, people.
I just caught a ferry. A ferry landed on me.
Furries are real?
Heck yeah, they are. Yeah, got a ferry.
I didn't know that.
While I was collecting eggs, a ferry landed on me. It's in my hand. Magical.
Oh my god.
Watch this clip and tell me this isn't programming.
I suppose there's no harm in walking you through our plan for world domination.
This always gives me the creeps. He's the president of Hollywood. He's supposed to give you the creeps.
Greetings, your tinseliness.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again?
This is part 2 of American Indians they don't want you to see.
The Passamaquoddy, or however you say it.
Many celebrities have reacted to the news of the Epstein list being released. First up was The Rock, who said, "I'm absolutely..."
If it's anything I took from this interview, it was this.
Right.
If it's anything I took from this interview, it was this. This was gold right here.
I done already told you, I'm one of the richest people that ever lived. Yes. Only in the fact that when I wake up in the morning, no matter where I am, I don't need nothing.
That's good.
Whatever I need is right around me, and whatever I don't have, it's only just because I don't have it. It's not because I can't get it. All I gotta do is want it, and it belongs to me. So because of that, because I'm favored by God, like when I see people's wives and stuff, I don't even look at them. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to look at nothing I don't want to have.
What?
Because I know how blessed I am. If I look at it, I got it.
That man knows something. I don't even look at things I don't want, because if I look at it, I'll have it. That's how favored I am by God. Be careful what you're looking at. If it's anything...
Gaslighting is the most dangerous psychology.
Gee, you could never feel what a god or a goddess with carbon is feeling when they in any type of cold, let alone a motherfucker that's in a hot region and ain't never seen that shit, nigga. You can't relate, nigga. Nigga, y'all come from the moon. Y'all are the children of the moon. The moon strengthens y'all. Nigga, the sun strengthens us. You know what I'm saying, nigga? We gods, sun gods. Nigga, we need heat. to function. We are tropical beings. Electricity is hot. Aren't we electrical beings? Yes. Nigga.
Exactly.
What is electricity? A form of fire. So what does that make us? We are
not
heat.
natural at all.
We need the heat. You get what I'm saying? To function, nigga.
Even
And not just us,
grizzly bear.
everything that came from us
Right.
needed, nigga. The animals need it. The plants need it. The fucking earth herself needs it,
That's
nigga.
crazy.
That's why when it's wintertime, every fucking thing die, nigga. Everything dies in the winter, nigga. Everything, nigga. The plants, the leaves fall off the trees, nigga. Even a fucking grizzly bear go hibernate, nigga, when it get cold. Nigga, big ass grizzlies. Nigga, the wintertime send the grizzlies in the crib. You hear me? Big ass grizzlies, nigga. Go in the crib when that shit come out. You know what I'm saying? Grizzly bear ain't scared of shit. Nigga, grizzly bear 10 feet, 550, nigga. You hear me? Snatch a whole ass cheek off any animal in the jungle, nigga. One swipe of a paw, nigga. Nigga, it's over with, nigga. You hear me? You know when her a bad bitch if you send a grizzly in the crib. Look how thick that nigga hide is. Nigga, fuck the leather coat. That nigga got all that rubber, all that fat, all that hide. You know.
Nah, do me like that.
Be outside all day like, nigga, I'm a grizzly, nigga. What's up, nigga? I'm out here, nigga. I'm a grizzly, nigga. Nigga, I'm a grizzly. Nigga, that's my fish, nigga. These my woods, nigga. I'm a grizzly, nigga. As soon as wintertime comes, nigga, I'm a grizzly, nigga. Wintertime, nigga. Go on ahead. Get on in the house. I'll be a grizzly after the
The Mandela effect be fucking me up. Thought that shit was like this, but it's not. What the fuck? Like is we going through portals or something? People keep steady telling me it's nothing. Jesus, didn't they have a Z in it? Didn't Flintstones have 2 T's in it? Double stuffed Oreos had 2 X, 9 is 1. What the hell? I am tired of this mess. Looney Tunes used to be spelled like this. Sketches, they used to be spelled like this. Curious jokes had a tail like this. Like who the fuck is changing this shit? Jif, it used to be Jiffy for real. Sex in the City was Sex in the City. Febreze, I thought it had 2 E's. Fruit Loops, thought it was spelled like D. Monopoly Man had a monocle on. Pikachu tail didn't look like this. Kit Kat bar had a dash on it. I swear all of this shit not legit. Oscar Mirror had an E, not an A. Fruit of the Loom had a basket behind
They the
it.
real
Shaggy,
Pinocchio.
he had
They
an
always
Adam's apple.
lying,
Look at
man.
him
That's why it's
today and
gonna
I
catch
still
up with
can't
him.
find the Mandela effect be tricking my mind. Cause I be seeing it all the time. If you're not seeing it, nigga, you blind. I'm saying the truth, why would I be lying? If you be seeing Mandela effects, please let me know some of them in the comments. Send this to someone and show them this real. These Mandela effects give me chills, need to stop them. The Mandela.
If you decide today that you're going to live every day like it's your last for real, which means have a conversation with yourself every night that, okay, that was it. May not be no more after that. And really count yourself every day like this could have been it. All right, before I go to bed, this could be it. All right, how's that looking? If you can do that, it'll change your life. You'll really start making decisions and living your life like this all you got. Just this one day. But you could be a winner. You could be a winner on this day. It's just work ethic. And not the work ethic they talk about. They tell you work ethic where they do all these movies. Right. I'm the hardest working man. Well, no, everybody goes to work every day. But
Right.
yeah. Don't say, I go to work all the time. Everybody who works goes to work every day. Shut up. Shut up. You get... What? You think I respect you more than my gardener?
Like that.
I don't. I don't. He work every day. Rain or shine. If you decide today...
The fact that there's people in every car driving, living their own lives, and they are the main characters, and we just extras in their lives, and they're just extras in ours. I cannot tell you how many times I think about this while I'm driving. Like, imagine you driving and somebody cuts you off, and of course, like, you be irritated, but then I be thinking, like, what if they just got a call about grandma, and grandma in the hospital? Now they trying to rush. I'll be rushing too. Or my favorite thing is to ride past, like, a minivan, because I got my own thoughts about minivans and, like, how the person who driving them, you just know they got a gang of kids, because who get in a minivan just to be rolling through the streets, rolling with the homies? Unless maybe you like a serial killer or a kidnapper or something, because I don't know nobody that's be like, ooh, I know, I just want to get a minivan. But like if the mom is driving and the kids in the back and they arguing over, you know, who gonna play the game the loudest, or I'm not touching you, and she just sitting up front thinking about 50 snacks that she could sneak, you know.
We're gonna do a couple more clips and then we're gonna go ahead and get out of here.
What am I missing?
See this,
Control your spirit.
So are you saying religion is poison to the black mind? Is religion poison?
It's a trap. It's a trap. Because you don't have nothing in between you and your creator. You have direct connection. Everything in creation, when you come into being, you given at that moment everything you ever needed to thrive and survive. That's it. You didn't have to be taught this shit. You don't have to teach that ant to be a damn ant. He's pre-coded. Why do we need instructions on how to be who we supposed to be? That's a very serious question. Nothing in nature needs instructions to be what it's supposed to be. Control your.
You already know what time it is. Let's get back in the extraterrestrial game and first talk about what they actually are in the first place. Extraterrestrials are beings that do not come from Earth, but are here for a specific agenda. In our human history, we've called them so many times angels, demons, gods. We've categorized them in a specific way for us to even fathom what they are, because they are multidimensional. They all have different vibrations as we do. So some are very low vibe, which we would call demons, and some are really high vibe, which we would call angels or angelic. We love to call this type of stuff paranormal because we can't see them, but they're there. We could feel them, hear them, or sometimes see them with our eyes, but you have to have your pineal gland open to a certain extent for you to even be able to perceive these other layers of reality that are obviously there. Every culture and religion seems to talk about the war in the heavens or the war between the gods, and it always is over Earth. It's either Earth is ours, or we want humans to go this way, or we want humans as ours. It's always some sort of fight. And they always tell stories of gods that are good and gods that are bad. Extraterrestrial. Religion also talks about fallen angels or godlike beings or angelic beings who fell from heaven, or they were casted out of heaven onto Earth. So basically their vibration lowered to a point where they couldn't stay in their dimension anymore and they happened to go to Earth. Extraterrestrials have always been here since the beginning of our evolution. Don't you see them drawing about beings coming from the sky, UFOs, and then them saying, yeah, they helped us with something? Especially now, people around the world talking about beings visiting them, or UFOs coming, or them having an out-of-body experience and experiencing other beings. Especially in the government? Whew! Government's now trying to find a way to tell us because they've been interacting with them long time, bruh. And it's common for a lot of you to be having interactions with them right now, not just because of what's happening at the moment, but because we have relations to them. And they've been involved with humans' evolution for a very long time. They've not been allowed to interfere physically a lot, especially this time, which is why it's all been very psychically or invisible or spiritual, people want to call it, because they can't come here physically. So they've been here astrally, energetically, and so many other ways that people would label as psychic or astral or energetic. They've been in orbit for a long time. 2026 and 2027 is when they are going to come physically, and all of the Earth governments are preparing for this right now at this moment. The Earth is already shifting into this timeline where we're all interacting with extraterrestrials and they're announced and we have a mesh society with them. If you are a starseed, we need you now more than ever. Do not stop helping humans and do not stop spreading your light.
It was an incident that happened in Miami. I don't know. It's real. They said they saw 10 feet aliens or something like that. I'm about to pull that up real quick. I know this is not real. This is not real. This is like some CGI or something.
heck was going on in Miami the other night? Well, people are saying aliens. This was the scene outside the Miami Mall last night, with a ton of policemen showing up on the scene. I mean, like hundreds of officers and 60 police cars trying to restore order on the scene. It was reported that a bunch of teenagers were starting fights and letting off fireworks in the mall, but why was there this big of a police response? Well, rumors started to spread that it wasn't caused by teenagers, but 7 to 10 foot aliens? During all this craziness, police scanners were cut off, all plane flights were canceled, and more than 60,000 homes lost power due to this. Like, it was a massive ordeal. With a police response like this, people are convinced the authorities are hiding something. The amount of police present, helicopters shutting down the airspace, power shutting off, all for a group of teenagers causing trouble? Which brings us back to the claims of this being caused by 7 to 10 feet tall aliens. People all over social media are voicing their opinion, with this person showing a video that has people scratching their heads. And this person said, that's a huge police presence for some kids shooting off fireworks and fighting inside a Miami Mall Monday night. 4 juveniles were arrested. The question is all this alien talk just people starting a false narrative? Or did some alien stuff really happen that isn't being addressed by authorities? Who knows? And who knows if we'll ever know. But drop a like if you think there was something more going down. What the heck was going on in...
Good evening, viewers. We interrupt your regular programming with a startling report from Miami's Bayside Marketplace Mall. What was initially dismissed as a teenage riot has turned the internet on its head. Eyewitnesses claim to have seen beings 8 to 10 feet tall, amidst a staggering response of at least 60 police vehicles and unconfirmed sightings of black helicopters. Is this a mere disturbance or something otherworldly? With rumors of UFOs and a secret invasion, the truth remains as elusive as the shadows reported by those who were there.
Polices.
Do you believe that there were real aliens inside of this mall? The amount of police cars, helicopters, and agents on the scene are giving us all the signs to believe so. Stay with us as this story unfolds.
I was actually at the mall in Miami when all those police...
Allegedly, we have an eyewitness account for the Miami Mall aliens that were spotted, and we also have some footage of the alien as well.
This is for entertainment purposes only. We're just conspiracy theorists playing around. This is just a theory. This is false. We don't believe anything.
Now, am I saying this is the actual alien? I don't know. Am I saying this is an actual witness? I don't know. But when you listen to the witness's story, and then you see the footage that somebody on the internet zoomed in when all of the cops came. All of the cops seemed to be surrounding this shadow entity. And it kind of coincides with what this man was saying. It's the minor details. I'm going to show you these videos. You tell me what you think. And please, make sure you guys like and follow and share for more. Hook your boy up.
Yeah, we happen to be at that mall. So, we had Foot Locker or whatever. Next thing you know, you start hearing all this commotion outside. Sound like firecrackers or something. So, you know what I'm saying? I grab her close. I'm like, yo, we about to get up out of here. Because, I originally thought that they were shooting. You know what I'm saying? I thought, some type of gunfight had broke out, whatever the case is. Because, we're not familiar with Miami. We're not familiar with the city. So I'm like, damn, I ain't even got my blick. So, you know what I'm saying? We about to swerve. Next thing I know, it's like crazy. Like, we just see all these people running, like, fat chicks, old ladies, like, I'm talking about moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, old people even move. I'm talking about moving. So, my girl, she's like, what's going on? I'm like, fuck all that. We out. Like, I'm not going to ask no questions. We just going to follow the crowd. Next thing you know, real, like, gunshots start going off. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we trying to follow the crowd, get out of there. I look back, no cap, yo. No cap. I look back, it looked like a big ass shadow, but it was solid at the same time, like a few shadows, but they were solid at the same time. And it almost looked like they was coming our direction, like they was chasing us, but they was disappearing and reappearing closer. So I'm like, yo, what? So we start really moving. Next thing you know, we start hearing more gunshots. Like, these dudes start firing at this shit. Get outside, mad police, all that. You know what I'm saying? The police is like trying to get all the people that ran out the mall. They like trying to detain these people, whatever. But you know, me and my girl, we ended up just, you know, sliding past all that and everything like that. But you know, a lot of people saying, why didn't nobody film and all that? When that type of shit is going on, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, like some paranormal, nobody thinking about no phone. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going survival mode. But for real,
his story is pretty believable. Imagine being from out of town, just chilling for the New Year's, saying, hey, honey, let's go to the mall. Hear shots, start running. It's a pretty good story, but the most important part of the story is the shadowy figures. Let me show you this next video. I want you to pay attention right here. You see that figure right there? It's going to slow down again over the figure, and then you can kind of like see the size of the figure. It's like a shadowy figure compared to the car from an overhead shot. That looks pretty big walking. I don't know. That can just be somebody walking by, but I don't see no other people. Is this all cap?
No cap, yo. No cap.
Alright, bro. Alright. My bad. If you say so. What do you guys think in the comments? This is for entertainment purposes only. Thank you very much.
I don't know. It sounds kind of believable, man. You know, he could be just making it up for the trees, for clout, but that sounds like a believable story. Oh, man. We have to see the footage first.
Have you guys seen this? There's this guy who's claiming that he was an eyewitness at the Miami incident. He posted a video to his TikTok account earlier today where he shared his side of the story. But within hours of posting, the video was already taken down. What? Now, I don't know if he took it down on his own or if somebody told him to take it down, but lucky for you guys, I saved it. So I'm gonna play it for you and I want to know what you guys think of it.
We already saw it, bro.
This rapper is a clone and here's proof. Watch
you need
this.
to see this. Do you think Lil Baby is a clone?
You like him? Nah, that was too much like him.
They look a lot alike.
Yeah.
They didn't think we'd notice?
Copyright. Yeah, that's interesting. You do look like him, though. Do you think Lil Baby is a clone? Probably.
no cap, I look back, it looked like a big ass shadow, but it was solid at the same time, like a few shadows, but they were solid at the same time, and it almost looked like they was coming our direction, like they was chasing us, but they was disappearing and reappearing closer. So I'm like, yo, what? So we start.
So that was the guy talking about the creatures that were in Miami. He said that last night, and this morning he said this.
I ain't never even been to Miami. Shit, yo, y'all be bugging. Yo, real shit though, y'all stay away from them aliens and all that. Y'all be safe.
One or two things happen here, ladies and gentlemen. Either this grown man is very bored and has nothing else to do but lie on serious situations, or this grown man got paid a visit. And based off his comments, a lot of people are thinking the same exact thing. Believe it or not, there are still people who think that hundreds and hundreds of Miami cop cars came out because teenagers were fighting. How blind can you be? This many cop cars don't come out because of teenagers fighting. The Miami airport does not get shut down because teenagers are fighting. Black helicopters do not come out because of teenagers fighting. Wake up, my brothers and sisters. Wake up.
No cap, I look back.
He over here playing like he was there. Like, that's not cool. That's not even funny, man.
No cap,
Get out of here, man.
No cap, I look back.
Alright, man. I'm gonna go ahead and edit off right there. Hope you guys took something from it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We sat here for a cool 3 hours. Yup, 3 hours, man. Sending peace, abundance, prosperity, good health your way, man. Alright, and with all that being said, I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.